Welcome anyone to the Gaming Chamber podcast episode, I believe 59. Why am I never checking this before? Yes, 59. Oh my god, already starting off great. I am your host Everett, aka Two Beasts to Kill You, aka the Beast with the Least. Back to a three-man team this week. So welcoming back Devin. Devin?
What up, skanks?
And of course JJ is back as well.
Hey guys, it's me, Red227, back at it again. Hold my dick, bro.
Already starting with the strong. Oh, here we go. It's July 6th as we're recording this. I don't know if you can hear it in the background. There's dogs barking, whatever. But I don't know if you could hear. There's still fireworks going off. Like, I don't know if this is me just being an old man or something, but, you know, I love 4th of July, all right? Don't get me wrong. It's my favorite holiday. I love blowing shit up. But it's July 6th. Like,
It's kind of sad that 4th of July is your favorite holiday. Like, you know Christmas exists, right?
I do not like Christmas.
Christmas, Halloween.
I love Halloween.
Labor Day.
I love Halloween.
Thanksgiving.
Weekend.
I love
Easter,
Thanksgiving.
bro.
I love
I
Thanksgiving.
think Thanksgiving is pretty cool. I think people like
4th
Thanksgiving
of July
the
is
older
a
you
very
get.
mid-holiday.
Okay, look.
I love 4th of July when it's in the middle of the fucking week.
Yeah.
So we get the day.
So I
Hey.
love 4th of July because, again, I'm a pyromaniac. I love seeing shit on fire. I love seeing explosive stuff. I like seeing explosions. So me being able to actually get involved and do that stuff, you know, obviously it's not major explosive stuff, but still, it's enough that I like to watch it and I like to get involved. I love Thanksgiving because I'm a fat ass. I love to eat. I love Halloween because I like wearing costumes. I like to wear my Ghostbusters costume. Yes, I have a Ghostbusters costume. And I like candy. I have a sweet tooth. I don't like Christmas because people don't know how to give gifts or whatever. And then I'm expected to give a gift and people don't know how to say, like, well, I like this, I like that. And then it becomes this whole hubbub of like, okay, well, what do I... Especially like if you're dating someone and women, you know, you're like barely dating them. Instead of just trying to be like, oh, you know what, yeah, we've been together for a few months, whatever. Maybe let's, you know, do this, or it could be small. I like this, whatever. They try to be like, oh, why don't you just figure it out? No, Christmas is stupid. Christmas is stupid. I've never liked Christmas. Just never was a big fan of it. I know. Yeah. Very odd. But I'm just not I'm not a Christmas guy. Not. I guess there's what? I guess Easter's kind of cool. You know, you get to get some chocolate eggs or something. I don't know. I'm not into holidays. I'm an old curmudgeon. Okay? Even though I'm not even 40 yet, I've been an old fart ever since I was like a teenager. Probably ever since I was a kid. But I get to see fucking fireworks? Hell yeah, I'm happy. But on that day, I hate here in LA, they love to blow them up like the 2-3 weeks leading up to it, and like the 2-3 weeks after, you just hear, because it also sets off the dogs, and I'm tired of hearing dogs left and right.
Yeah, I mean, if you got a mid dog, sure. But if you have a OP dog, they don't bark.
That sounds pretty OP.
I'm assuming your dog doesn't bark.
Yeah, he doesn't give a shit. Mortars could be going. Like, we have people in our neighborhood that light off, like, the fucking mortars. Like, 4 houses down. He doesn't even care.
Dude, on Friday, like, I don't know how many dogs there are just in the neighborhood. I don't know how many, but just here, like the 2-3 houses, you know, the one next to the two next to our house, whatever, and like the one in front, there's a total of like 5 dogs, you know, including the one we have, and just, ugh, man, like hearing them go off on Friday, I was just like, I wanted to go out there and strangle all of them. Ooh, I know. Oh, he said violence against a pet, an animal. Fuck animals, all right? In some countries, people eat dogs.
Gross, why are you having sex with animals?
What?
What the hell?
No, oh my god. All right. Let's just... Oh, no.
Devin, he's like, damn, that Lola bunny, though. She's kind of thick.
I just.
You're the one talking about fucking dogs. So,
All right, so let's just move forward. All right, fucking motherfuckers. I don't even know how to fucking transition from that to the video game stuff. Holy crap! All right, we'll get into the video game news because there was a pretty big thing, a couple big things, but very obviously big thing that everyone. I don't know. I guess it got talked about that mainly that day, and people are still talking about it, but it died down pretty quick, in a manner of speaking. But before we get into it, Devin, what have you been playing these past 2 weeks since you missed last week?
Elden Ring, Night Rain, and that's pretty much it. Because I was out on vacation, so I didn't really have much time to do that. So yeah, just Elden Ring, Night Rain.
JJ?
Oh, for me, Everett, I've been playing
RuneScape.
some. Oh, how'd you know? Damn. Yeah, a little bit of RuneScape again. Here you go, just AFK mining levels and shit while I'm playing like Marvel Rivals, Space Marine 2 again a little bit, and I'm back into Classic WoW again for the Pandaria expansion. So I'm prepping. It's pre-patch shit. So I'm kind of making my Panda Monk.
Oh yeah. That's the 4th expansion or the 5th expansion?
I think it's the 4th one. The first one is Burning Crusade, second Lich King, third is Cataclysm, and the fourth
okay.
Pandaria.
All right, okay. Me.
Yes.
So me, I finally finished Elden Ring, Night Rain, like all the achievements. Beautiful feeling. I love that game. Again, I know I've been saying it the past few weeks. That's my game of the year so far. I just very much. I love it so much that after I got all the achievements, I started another playthrough in Elden Ring proper. So, and yes, I did try to start playing Sekiro. I cannot fucking stand it. I am not a guy who can parry. I do not have the patience. I tried so hard. I just tried. Like, okay, let me play it the way you're supposed to play it. You gotta parry people instead of going in, just attack, attack, attack. And I can't do it. I do not have the patience for it. I don't. I'm just over here. I just go back to what I'm just want to do, where I just attack and I just get killed. And like I'm taking 20 tries to kill a boss, and I don't know what area I'm at. I'm like, it's like a 3rd major fight or some shit. Not major, but it's like a 3rd boss or something. I don't know. It has a name. It's like General something or something like that.
The guy with the fucking horse?
No.
Oh, get
Before
fucked
that.
then.
Yeah, no, I can't. I'm not. Sekiro's not for me. It's a good game. Don't get me wrong. It's not for me. I'm never gonna get into it like that. I just can't.
You know what they say? Can't teach old dogs new tricks.
Exactly. Exactly. You cannot. I mean, come on, guys.
But dogs can look up.
I mean, come on. Like, every time we've played a Souls game, who's the one who is willing to try different things? It's only you, JJ. Like, Devin will get his weapon, and then I'll get my weapon, and that's about it. You're the only one who's like, you know, I want to use this. I remember when we were playing through Demon Souls. You went through like 4 or 5 different weapons. You're like, I want to try this one. Me, I had a sword, and that was it. I just wanted to fucking slash. That's it.
Because maybe, if you ever thought about it, I had to make it a little challenging for me, okay?
I mean, so I'm using a weapon type in the Elden Ring playthrough that I've never wanted to try because I don't like how slow it is for me. I'm using great swords. It's a little difficult because you got to time it right, and I like to jump in and attack, and then I always like to press the right bumper just maybe one too many times, and yeah, I get hit. So But I'm learning how to use that. I don't have to parry, though. That's the main thing. I don't know.
I don't know, man. I never parried it once at all my life in Dark Souls, and then I played Sekiro, and that shit was amazing as fuck. Hands down, I'm glad that shit was so amazing as fuck. I wish I can wipe that shit out of my mind and play that shit again, because it's so fucking amazing.
This guy. Well, I don't know. Again, I don't know. All right. You guys have anything you want to add in, or you want to get right into it?
No.
I'll say one more thing. I'm very. You know why I'm very happy, Everett? Well, you know why? You know why I'm happy?
Yeah, go ahead.
Because we're actually streaming next to each other naked. So that's why I'm really happy. I'm surprised you didn't tell the podcast people that are listening.
So, all right, let's
And
go
the
ahead
Devin.
and get into the first story we'll talk about. You know what? We're going to bookend this. We're going to start with Microsoft /Xbox, and we're going to end with Xbox /Microsoft, whatever. But we're going to start off with a good story. Good-ish story. Depends. Halo Studios, they put out a tweet. I think there's a Halo event. That's what it is or whatever. In October, they're going to be giving us a quote-unquote first look at what they've been cooking. So, I know that...
The event, the championship?
I think that's what
Don't they
it is.
usually do the Halo championship, right? In Vegas or some shit?
I think that... And
Yeah.
they're going to show... I'm assuming they're going to have like a trailer. I don't know if they'll show like actual gameplay. But, yeah. I mean, this is going to be their first like actual big showing since they rebranded. I still hate that name, Halo Studios. I understand it, why they did it and everything, but like you could have just been 343 Studios and be like, hey, look, we're starting over. But yeah, and then they made the jump. They're making the jump to Unreal Engine, all that stuff. I assume that this is where they'll have some kind of gameplay. They have to have a trailer, right? Like maybe not like a deep dive thing, but like something like that, right? Like an announcement trailer. Or something, right?
Probably.
I hope so. You know, that'd be kind of sick.
Hopefully more than just like a battlefield that you can just see lasers and then just like a watermark of like the next Halo game or whatever. Like that would be kind of lame, but you never know.
Cause when did like the announcement happen? When did they do that? Was it like last year?
It was shit. It was last year, I want to say. Like near the end of last year. Let me see. I could look up when we talked about it because obviously we did do a podcast about it. If I look it up real quick, because I named the podcast Halo is Unreal or some shit. But it had to have been last year because the only thing that Microsoft or Xbox has done this year that was big like that would be obviously their showcase and that one like the Direct, right? Like, yeah, Halo is Unreal 8 months ago. So does it tell me when I actually put it up? It just says 8 months ago I put it up. So okay, yeah, it's been 8 months. Nothing, guys?
Yeah, I mean, I don't really know what else to add to that. I mean,
Yeah, and I was just trying to clarify.
definitive statement.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think we have much because it's just, I mean, okay. Do you guys think it's gonna be the rumored like, just the full on they're rebooting the series?
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, that's actually a good question. I mean, I don't know. I mean, if they're rebooting the series, like, what does that even mean? Like, they're starting over.
A retelling of the first one, but different. Like,
Well,
Yeah,
yeah,
for 3
there's
just redid fucking Halo Combat Evolved or whatever anniversary, and they do it again by just making it even better and
Because like
unreal.
obviously when you talk about a reboot, you have like the new. Obviously, you have Spider-Man and Fantastic Four are coming out this month. Those are reboots, so you have like new characters and like. So we're gonna get like, yeah, new Master Chief, the origin story, and then just
well, I
play
mean,
through variation. I don't know.
it's rumored to be a Halo remake, Halo 1 remake. I don't like calling it Halo CE. I hate when people are like, it's called Halo Combat Evolved. It's Halo 1, people. Let's stop fucking sniffing our own farts. But
That's disrespectful.
huh?
Halo Combat Evolved. Don't be a bigot.
I mean, the game is just Halo. Like, it's not Halo Combat Evolved 2, Halo Combat Evolved 3. It's Halo. Halo 1, Halo 2, Halo everything. Halo Infinite. I mean, okay, so it's supposed to be a
6,
remake.
You get it. It's Halo 6. It's Halo 6, man.
Well, Halo 6 is Halo Infinite.
Yeah, so why you say Infinite?
Well, because it's actually called Halo Infinite.
No, I'm calling it Halo 6.
You know what? Let's call it Halo 6. You're right. You know what? It should be called Halo 6 because it's called Halo Infinite, and they're clearly gonna stop production on that game. So it wasn't so infinite. It's Halo 6 now. I know. Yeah, we'll find out, I guess, in October. My hope is that, yeah, they're doing like a full-on reboot, and obviously tell it similarly to how the first game. You're gonna probably have to get a new voice actor for John Halo, because yes, I know his name is Master Chief, but for John Halo, because like the guy, I'm forgetting his fucking name, Steve Downs. That dude, I want to say he's like in his 80s or something like that, 70s or 80s. He's old. Like, you're not gonna be able to keep using him.
So you guys have similar birthdays?
You met him in high school?
So he's 75. He's close to his 80s. He's 75 years old. And if you're planning on making this a series, not a series, but like to continue with the series for years and years and years, you're probably going to have to, you know, similar to like, remember when Splinter Cell got a, I don't remember the name of that actor, but they replaced Michael Ironside. You know, because they were going to have a younger guy play a younger Sam Fisher. If he's going to be a younger Master Chief, probably going to want a younger guy playing that character. But yeah. All right, let's do this one real quick. Have you guys played Ready or Not?
My buddies have. And a lot of my people that I used to play Final Fantasy with used to play a lot of it.
Okay. You know, yeah, actually, I'm assuming Devin's not played it because it's only on PC right now. So right now that game is getting review bombed on Steam. Because they're claiming that the shooter is being censored to satisfy console makers. Because it's getting ready to be released on consoles. I've never played the game. I don't know too much about it. But apparently what they seem to be doing is they're like toning down like gore and nudity or something like that. Apparently. Things like that. I'm like, what the hell is in this game? So yeah, that's obviously rubbing.
I think you're like a SWAT dude. So like you deal with like shooters and shit like in a convenience store or whatever.
Yeah,
I think that's what it is.
Yeah, you're playing as a SWAT. I can see it in this like picture right here.
That's essentially like what Siege was supposed to be. You know how they like take over like people and you're supposed to like break in and coordinate with a team. Yeah, essentially that's what it's supposed to be. I know my buddies want me to get it, but I'm like, I don't care. Like I'd rather play something else, man.
I don't know.
Not my cup of tea.
I think the main thing was that like people are saying it's censored because instead of making a console specific version, they're basically it's going across the board all the changes. Similar to actually what Rainbow Six did, where they toned down some of the stuff apparently when they were like releasing in China or some shit. instead of making a version that was specific for China with changes to like artwork and stuff like that, they just did it across the board for all versions. So, yeah. I don't know. I mean, if the game, it looked, everything, all the gameplay that I've seen, yeah, it's like similar to that, like Rainbow Six or something, where yeah, it's a tactical shooter or whatever it is, kind of thing. I could be completely off. I don't know, because again, I've never played the game. I've only really watched gameplay videos here and there. If they're toning down like gore or something, like it doesn't need to be gory. Like it's one thing for like if Gears gets censored in that sense. They're like, we're gonna tone down the gore. It's not gonna be, the headshots are not gonna be the way they are. Not gonna be as bloody. When you chainsaw someone, there won't be as much blood. They'll still fall apart. Da, 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 da. I mean, Gears does have like a censored mode or whatever for people who want that kind of stuff, you know, pussies. But if they just did that in general,
tryhards to fucking play that shit, so the blood doesn't smear over the screen.
Yeah, right. Yeah, it's apparently
also sweats that do that shit too.
But if like Gears did that, you know, that would be something that's like, dude, the gore is kind of part of the identity of Gears. I don't know, a shooter like this, like if it's like has like headshots and the heads explode and stuff, like I don't think it's necessary. It's just, you know, as long as the gameplay is fun, kind of stuff. I don't know. Again, I've never played the game. I'll probably try it once it's on console, but yeah, I'm coming from a place of ignorance on this game. So, Devin, I'm assuming you don't have anything.
I know nothing. No, I don't know anything about this.
Yeah. Again, I'm just. Yeah. All right. Let's see. Oh, you know what? Let's talk about. Let me see if I can pull up the tweet so far. All right. So, you know what? We've talked about this, right? I swear I don't remember there being an announcement for a new Street Fighter movie, but we have talked about it, right? It's like coming back that we've kind of talked about it. I don't know. There's a cast list now. From everything I've looked up, this is all legit. These people are going to be playing characters in the Street Fighter movie. So, 50 Cent, right off the bat, 50 Cent is going to be Balrog? Like, you know?
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of hilarious. He just, like, I think he just, is it today or yesterday? He just celebrated turning 50, 50 Cent.
Hell yeah, dog.
And he's gonna play a fucking Balrog's the boxer character, right, in Street Fighter?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, Andrew Koji as Ryu. I don't know most of these people. Orville Peck as Vega. Noah Centineo as Ken. Jason Momoa as Blanca. That's kind of hilarious.
It's gonna be tight, dude. It's gonna be hype, bro.
Kalina Liang as Chun-Li. Roman Reigns as Akuma, the wrestler Roman Reigns. Andrew Schul as Dan Hibiki. Another wrestler, Cody Rhodes as Guile. That's kind of funny. And then David Dasmalkian as M. Bite. That one's kind of a weird one to me. Like, I could see all the other ones. Like, why, you know, okay, yeah, Cody Rhodes as Guile. You know, he's got even like an American, well, it's not a flag, it's his logo, but it has an American, because he's the American Nightmare, blah, blah, blah. But, like, yeah, him being Guile, that makes sense. You know, you just give him a little bit more hair. You know, even, like, Jason Momoa as Blanca, like, yeah, he looks like he could play like that, yeah.
So it's probably going to be CGI anyway.
Yeah. But David Dasmalkian as M. Bison is weird. I don't know if you guys know who that is by just recognizing his name.
No.
So,
I need to see a picture.
So, David did you watch The Suicide Squad?
Oh, yeah, now I remember. Yep, I know.
He played Polka Dot Man.
Dot, right? Yeah, Polka Dot. Yeah, okay, now I remember.
Or
yeah, I heard people saying in the comments that, like M. Bison in the beginning was more like kind of like his build until, like, the later ones, they just make him jack the shit.
Okay,
but I'm like, I don't know. I thought it was kind of weird, though. I'm like, I thought he was like a big, crazy baddie, bro. Like, baddie.
Yeah. He's so...
But
I
like him, though, as an actor, so hopefully...
I mean, no, he's really good. If you've seen the movies that he's in, if you've watched movies that he's in, like I've known him since like when he was in like The Dark Knight. He played like just some crazy dude that what's the name? Harvey Dent threatened to shoot.
Yeah.
But like, remember he was in the Ant-Man movie?
Yeah, he's a friend. T.I. and
Yeah.
the other guy. Yeah.
And of course, yeah, he's in the Suicide Squad. But he's been in other stuff too. He's a good actor. He's a good actor. I just don't know about him as M. Bison. Not even because of like M. Bison being this big motherfucker. I don't know. I could be wrong. You know. I don't know about him being like this imposing figure that's supposed to be the head of a criminal organization. I don't know. Again, I could be completely wrong, and he just is like, oh yeah, he's so good. Yeah. A little bit of side note though, if you haven't seen it, David Dastmalchian, he's in this movie called Late Night with the Devil. Watch that movie. It's pretty good.
Already watched it.
Yeah, it's very, very good. So yeah, I don't know, Devin. What about you? What do you think about all these people?
I mean, there's some big names in there. I mean, Andrew Scholes is a weird one to me, just because he's like a comedian podcaster. So that one's weird.
Actually, that one might make sense too, because Dan Hibiki, I think, is like a joke character in the Street Fighter. Yeah,
I know, but
he's a
still,
joke
like,
character.
I just don't know how good of an actor he is. I mean, so like you can still be a joke character, but I mean, I don't know. I feel like Jason Momoa, like I don't know. Like I feel like ever since the first like Aquaman, he's like fallen off. Like he used to be like ripped and like buff. Now he just kind of got like a fat dad bod. Trying to like body shame him. I'm like, dude, what happened to you? Like you used to be like Game of Thrones, like ripped. Now you're just
Well, he's probably like going through like remember when they made Thor fat in the MCU movies? Part of that was because
maybe.
Well, part of the reason they made Thor fat was because Chris Hemsworth was tired of doing all the working out for the physique that he had. Obviously, he's back to it with that Love and Thunder movie.
Yeah.
But that was part of it. They obviously wrote into why he ended up looking like that, but like he was like, yeah, I don't really want to be working out all the time. Like,
Yeah, those like actors that do that shit. It's actually kind of nutty, bro.
so I mean, maybe Jason Momoa is just like, I don't really want to be working out all the time. It's kind of
Oh man, it really sucks getting like $20 million a movie to work out. It's terrible.
Well, I guess I'm fucking Minecraft, dude. He just makes bank, bro. Besides, like, what was he gonna be on for the new DC stuff? Lobo, right, or something like that?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
he's gonna play Lobo.
When he does that shit.
Lobo's
So,
not he that like kind of dad bod, I guess, whatever, but with muscles will work for Lobo. So
because I'm like, maybe he can just take a break from like doing those like 8-hour fucking workouts like for like weeks on end for roles. Kind of takes a toll on people's body. But like, like, hey, I want to do superhero movie, I'll come back for DC stuff, maybe. But again, I don't know. I'm just a fucking average Joe Schmo.
yeah. So
I don't know, man. Yeah, we'll pay you like $30 million to be this just work out every time. Like, you got it, boss.
So yeah, that's the Street Fighter movie casting, at least so far. They'll probably have more, I don't know how many more characters they'll add, but yeah. Alright, let's see. Oh yes, let's talk about this. Oh yeah, let's talk about this. Battlefield 6. Some details of the development have come out. And man, is this game gonna flop. I'm gonna tell you right now, it's gonna flop. Oh yeah, it's gonna crash and burn bad, and fuck, EA is gonna end up canceling
Well,
and shutting down. Fucking.
if they listen to get Battlefield 3, then they'll be fine.
It's not even that. It's okay. So here's the details first. So the reported budget is over $400 million. I don't even understand why it would go that far, but whatever. Apparently their goal is they want to have 100 million players. How many games get 100 million players?
100 million. Jesus,
None.
fuck.
Like WoW, maybe over time, probably has had 100 million.
Yeah,
Minecraft.
Yeah, Prime. Yeah, Minecraft.
So yeah, there's
Roblox.
that. Apparently, very few of the devs believe that's achievable. No shit. There's apparently going to be some free-to-play modes, including everyone's favorite, a battle royale.
Hell yeah, bro.
And
Battlefield 1 did a good job on it.
And just as an aside for that, for like EA's goal is over 100 million. Like the most players a Battlefield game has ever had was quote unquote maybe 30 million.
What, Battlefield 4? The height one?
Probably Battlefield
1,
4. Maybe Battlefield 1. A lot of people seem to love Battlefield 1.
You got me fucked up. You got me like 5 different fucking bolt action rifles. You kiss my ass.
So yeah. I just don't like $400 million is so much money to put into a game that I think it's impossible. I think it's kind of impossible for Battlefield to become a success. I just don't see it happening. $400 million and then they want 100 million players. Like, this game is basically being set up to fail. At least in my opinion.
Yeah, no, that's a crazy, ridiculous high number that will never be reached by this game.
Well, yeah, because
like,
that's
you're
the
not
thing.
GTA.
Because yeah, like how many games, like. Go ahead and talk so much yourself. I'm going to see if I can find a list of games that have hit 100 million players.
Yeah, I mean,
I think it's
crazy.
just obviously people want them to they want their game. We want our game to succeed like that, but bro, like come on, man, calm down, little bro. Calm down, little bro.
All right, so several games have achieved the milestone of reaching 100 million players. Some prominent examples include Call of Duty Warzone, a free-to-play game, Fortnite, a free-to-play game, PUBG, a free-to-play game.
Oh yeah.
Oh no,
PUBG,
it's not
PUBG.
No,
It is. PUBG is not free to play.
Oh, it is.
Now it is, yeah. Not before, but.
And Pokemon Go, which is a phone game that everyone probably and their mother downloaded.
And Minecraft.
I think it's talking about like 100 million, like at once, kind of thing. I'm not too positive. Okay. Hearthstone. Okay, so Hearthstone has hit 100 million players.
A free to play game.
Free to play game.
What about you said Roblox, right?
Roblox has probably hit that. I don't know though. These are just what I could find right here. I mean, Minecraft has had to have hit that. Like, it's sold so many copies and all that stuff. Like, if I look up how many, Minecraft's at 350 million sales. It's had to have hit 100 million players, like even concurrently.
Yeah, and like GTA's not on there.
Yeah,
like, I mean,
GTA, just because it's hit, GTA 5 is at 15 million sales. But
I don't know why that game's always on sale for like $10.
well, no. See, the thing is, apparently, like the reason GTA hit that milestone with sales is a lot of people would buy like the game that came with shark cards because it was like a cheaper option to buy the game again because it came with a shark card. So that helped.
Dub's a dub, bro.
Well, yeah, I'm pretty sure they didn't care. They're making their money. So yeah. Yeah, Battlefield, you know, like I said, or just 100 million players is asking a lot of a game, especially because, like, ever since like Battlefield 4, the game was, you know, people were having, you know, it wasn't like a downward trend. It, you know, Battlefield 1 was popular. But then what? Battlefield 5, right? They just called it Battlefield 5, the one that was after Battlefield 1?
Yeah. Yeah, that was like the World War II one, right?
Yeah, and I don't remember anybody saying anything positive about that game. Like, you know, people were like, okay, Battlefield 1's cool. A lot of people did like it, but it wasn't setting the world on fire, you know, shooter-wise, the way like Battlefield 3 and 4, or shit, Battlefield Bad Company 2, obviously. And then, yeah, Battlefield 2042 came out, like... They've had 2 hits recently. Like, not hits, like 2 bad hits, we'll say, you know. 2 punches in the face. They're working from a negative space. They gotta dig, you know, they gotta dig themselves out of the hole. Yeah, I don't know. This game is... EA's just been doing that, I think, a little bit too recently with some of their bigger studios where they're like, okay, we need this to be a hit. But then they're like... They're either interfering a little too much or maybe not interfering enough. Depends. Like with Dragon Age the Veilguard, maybe they should have stepped in and been like, hey, it needs to just be a Dragon Age game, not whatever you guys are making. But,
yeah. Well, I mean, initially, I think they were involved too much, because what I heard is that with Dragon Age Veilguard, it was supposed to be, like, live servicey, but then they changed it, like, halfway through to get rid of all that live service shit.
I mean, yeah, I did hear that too, but, I mean, if you know, that game is still what it is. So I don't know what... Dragon Age has been, you know... It was floundering for a while. And then for that game to come out and totally just fall flat on its face. Yeah, I don't know, man.
Yeah, like promising, but...
Yeah, I don't know. Like, right now, EA, especially with its 2... They have enough big studios that and IP that you think that they would be... I mean, they are one of the top publishers, but it doesn't seem like it at certain points. Because they keep making decisions that are ruining stuff or just not working out in the best interest because it's not what the fans want or whatever it is. I don't think pouring $400 million into a game and then like, hey, but it needs to hit this mark is the way to go when the previous game failed. But I'm not an executive, you know, or a CEO, CFO, or anything like that. Maybe I don't know what I'm talking about.
Nope.
I just play video games. You know what? Let's continue with the EA stuff. Because speaking of, EA flops, let's talk about Anthem. And I'm going to be honest with you guys. I said it in the group, in the Discord chat. I'm going to be completely honest with you. I thought it was already shut down. But hey, I who knew? So yeah, Anthem is shutting down on January 12th, 2026. That means it's going to be completely unplayable because it's an online only game. And man, what could have been? I don't know. Did you guys play Anthem?
We played it for like a little bit. I remember I got it for like $10, and like, yeah.
I bought the $80 one or whatever the fuck.
Oof.
You sound like my brother. He was super excited about that game and he bought it and everything.
Yeah, I was super hyped. I was super hype as shit. And then I was like, I just pretty much told everybody, just get EA access and just play for free for that fucking trial, dude. That's it.
I was excited about the game too, but then when I was seeing what was happening with it, what was coming out, my excitement was dampened a bit. My biggest issue with that game was that, like, there didn't seem to be too many different things to do. I didn't get that far in the game, but it did seem like maybe, I don't know, it seemed a little boring. And then I hated, like, somebody like tried to correct me, I guess, on Twitter recently, saying like, oh yeah, if only this or whatever, because like part of that game, what the big selling point of that game was, like, the suits, and you could fly around. Basically, you're Iron Man. That was like the big thing. Wow, it's like an Iron Man simulator. Da 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 da. But like, I swear, I would fly for like 5 seconds, and then the thing's starting to overheat, and I'm like, oh cool, now I gotta go fly into a waterfall or fly into a fucking lake or whatever. And like someone on Twitter was like, well, good thing there was an abundance of them. Okay, that's not the point. The point is, I want to just fly forward and not have to, oh shit, let me veer off a little bit so I can cool down. That's not
I
fun.
feel like they're on the path. Like, you're supposed to be fighting monsters anyway. They're just getting to the ground.
To me,
I don't know.
When that's one of the big selling points is that you could fly around in these, mech suits and everything, that shouldn't, maybe, just maybe, for gameplay's sake and for fun's sake, you don't have a mechanic where your shit can overheat. Maybe it breaks the game. I don't know, but like, come on. The point of these games are you want people to have fun and enjoy it and keep playing it. And if one of the main selling points, or the big selling point of your game is hampered by like having to constantly do something because, oh, if you don't do this, then you can't actually do this mechanic for a bit. Like, that just takes away. It's not like a, like a shooter where like you have to reload real quick, or I don't know, Tony Hawk's Pro Skater skating game where you have to keep a balance, and if you don't, you got to get back up and start again or whatever. Like, no, you want the player to have fun flying around, blowing shit up, and doing all this stuff. To have them like, oh, they got to fly through this waterfall. And yes, I know you were saying like it's on the way kind of stuff and all, but I want to be able to just fly, and that's it.
You just want to buy a $6 game just to fucking fly?
Well, I mean, when I'm actually flying, I want to fly and not have to worry about, oh fuck, I'm going to overheat. Let me go through a waterfall.
So you're just flying around and just going through waterfalls instead of doing missions and like playing the game itself?
I was doing the missions, but like...
That's like I just bought Spider-Man 2 just to fucking swing around and be Spider-Man.
But see, there you go. That's a perfect example, actually. Can you imagine if in the Spider-Man games, every so often, you're like, oh shit, he's about to run out of web fluid. Which actually would work because it's canon. He has web fluid. But it's like, oh shit, he's going to run out of web fluid. You need to go over here real quick and collect more. They're just random pickups. Come on. You can't tell me that would take away from it. That would take away from the fun of traversal in that game.
Because it's too realistic and people want to play a video game. That's fine. The gamers weren't ready. It's the gamers' problem, actually. It's the gamers' problem. 10 toes down, It's the gamer's fault for all that shit, bro.
But that's what I'm saying. People just want to have fun and play the game. They just want to fly as Iron Man and not have to do all this extra shit.
I don't know, man. I think most of the time you're fucking doing both. You're going in combat, you're getting there kicking ass, shooting your missiles and shit like that, and fly to the next part. It's like getting on Destiny just to go to your Sparrow and just keep going to the next section. I'm just saying, man. I'm just saying. If you want to play like Iron Man, play fucking Iron Man 1 or 2, whatever the fuck. On 360. And heck, it's up. They're both dog shit. So.
Well, I mean, like, the gameplay wasn't as fun as the flying, like the shooting. I mean, BioWare's never been, like, good at that. They've always been more, they're better at story. Their gameplay has never been, like... Their gameplay is good, don't get me wrong. But I wouldn't say you play BioWare games for their gameplay. I think that was the big reason, too, why people... another reason why people didn't like Dragon Age of Veilguard. Like, it focused too much on trying to be different with its gameplay and everything, and this isn't what people wanted. They wanted this with a really good story. And it's like, if you're giving us not great gameplay and the story sucks. But I did hear that the Anthem story was pretty good. So.
They were supposed to be working on fucking 2.0, but then EA's like, nah, we're good, and canceled it all. And what a next developer said was actually like going to be really fun or some shit. But, oh well. Don't matter. There's another company that wants quick cash now.
Yeah, I mean...
No big numbers canceling me. What?
The JG Wentworth you were talking about, they need cash now, so...
Oh! It's my money and I need it now.
Mm-hmm.
But, I don't know, and it was tough because the Kingdom Hearts 3 came out around that time, Resident Evil 2. I thought all those games came out like literally like within a month of each other or a few weeks.
Interesting. So
there was
other stuff. There was other stuff that could have killed it too. Damn. All right. No, Devin, I don't know. You have anything else to add to it?
No, like I put in the Discord chat, I'm like, the two fans that are still playing, you're real pissed.
Oh my god. You're like, those two people still playing Anthem are going to be super mad.
You can't even do a dungeon with 2 people anyway.
It was 4 players, right?
3. I thought it was 3.
I thought it was 4 players.
Well, we'll never know. So. I kind of wanted to go. I want to re-download it, spend all my money on the fucking all the cosmetics before the game shuts down.
Are there even cosmetics for Anthem?
Yeah.
Yeah, people. You're not getting refunds. That was one of the things. Like, if you spent money, like that's.
No, I think I only got like the currency because I bought like the the upgraded version of it. That was it.
I never
bought anything.
I did find that funny. A lot of people were complaining like, "Oh, you're not going to get refunds." Like, yeah, no shit. The game came out like how long ago? Why would you get a refund?
But.
Yeah, I saw some people complain about that. It's like, dude, the game came out like 4 or 5 years ago.
2019.
Shit, 6 years ago. Fuck. Yeah, you're not getting a refund for that. That's stupid. That's a fucking stupid thing to ask. Are we gonna get a refund for this game? No.
Yeah. Kingdom Hearts 3 came out a month before Anthem, and then Resident Evil 2 Remake came out. It came out like a week after Kingdom Hearts 3 or some shit, or a couple days before. Yeah, it was a tough one. I told Riley I'm gonna be busy. And I didn't beat any of those games.
Damn. Fuck.
And I went back to probably... I don't know what the fuck I was playing then. I couldn't get into Kingdom Hearts 3, but anyway, go ahead.
Yeah. Alright, let's go ahead and move to the next thing. Alright, so... Last of Us Season 3. Neil Druckmann is dropping out of the show. He put a statement on the... He put a statement on the Naughty Dog Twitter account. Alright, fucking Jesus Christ. No, you know what? I'm with you on that one, JJ. I'm actually very happy that he's, gone. I kind of wish he would be gone from Naughty Dog. A lot of people were like, oh, he thought he was gone from Naughty Dog. But, that's a whole other discussion. All right, so his statement to our Naughty Dog community. We wanted to let you know that studio head Neil Druckmann delivered the following message to our team this morning. I've made the difficult decision to step away from my creative involvement in The Last of Us on HBO. With work completed on Season 2 and before any meaningful work starts on Season 3, now is the right time for me to transition my complete focus to Naughty Dog and its future projects, including writing and directing our exciting next game, Intergalactic: The Heretic Prophet, along with my responsibilities as studio head and head of creative. Co-creating the show has been a career highlight. It's been an honor to work alongside Craig Mazin to executive produce, direct, and write on the last 2 seasons. I am deeply thankful for the thoughtful approach and dedication the talented cast and crew took to adapting The Last of Us Part 1 and the continued adaptation of The Last of Us Part 2. End statement. One thing I'm curious about. I want to know if this was like a, maybe the HBO people or something, or someone was like, hey, we're going to need you to step down. Willingly, quote unquote.
Probably. Yeah, it's probably like, hey, we're going to give you the chance to get, we're probably going to get, it's like, you're going to get fired, but if you want to, like, be graceful, like, we'll let you put a statement out that you're leaving on your own. But, like, this Season 2, it ain't it. So we're not moving forward. Like, we saw how everyone online was reviewing these and acting. So you're gonna leave.
Like the actual director was saying, like, yeah, he's not gonna work on any more video game shit after this. I'm like, dude, it's all your fault. It's all your fault, man.
Yeah. So
comes in, shits on it, then leaves.
Yeah. So now Craig Mazin is just that's it. It's all on him. He's gonna write and direct or whatever. But, like, can he even save the show at this point?
Probably, because now it's going to be Abby's story. So you can fix it.
Yeah.
It's just a completely different story. And watch,
yeah,
Abby's going to be a lot more better than the fucking Ellie shit, bro.
Yeah, Ellie's going to be in there for a hot second, so you're not going to really have, like, that issue of, like, I don't know, you made Ellie stupid and, like, a dipshit. Like, I don't know. Like, now you can make Abby not, like, obviously she's not going to be, like, physique-wise video game Abby, but, like, mentality-wise can be very close to the Abby in the video game.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm just... Part of me doesn't actually... The thing is, I don't think he's actually... I think he actually is kind of stepping down of his own accord. I think he probably saw the writing on the wall that, like, oh, this isn't gonna go well. I should step away and just focus on my games and maybe get away from the shitstorm that's gonna continue to ensue. That he did, yes. That's the thing. It's that, it's an explosion that he's walking away from, and instead of cool guys don't look at explosions, it's cool guys don't exist at all. It's just an idiot who caused an explosion and he's bumbling away from it. Yeah, I mean, he's gonna work on the game obviously now, and I don't know, man. I have no faith that intergalactic game is going to be very good, because Neil Druckmann has shown that when he has a lot of say or all the say in something, it's not good. Because, like, look at the record. And I obviously, he still has, it still has its fans. But, like, The Last of Us Part 1 is revered as, like, the greatest game of all time and blah, blah, blah by a lot of people. And I won't say that I think the gameplay is very mediocre, but that story's super good. It's really good. But then when you look at some of the development for that game, like what Neil Druckmann wanted to do, and he had Bruce Straley helping him write it, Bruce Straley was like, no, we shouldn't do that. No, we shouldn't do that. No, we shouldn't do that. And then so look at what happened with the game. Like in the original game, like Neil Druckmann wanted to kill, oh my god, why am I forgetting his fucking name? The main character.
Joel?
Joel, yes. He wanted Joel to die in the first game. And Bruce Straley was like, no. People are going to like this character. You don't kill him off.
Oh, and I think I saw something like that, and like something about we can't have a revenge story or some shit.
Yeah,
and
he wanted it. Yeah, he wanted it to be a revenge story from the beginning. And yeah, Bruce Straley was like, no, people don't like revenge stories necessarily. Revenge stories aren't that good. Everything that he wanted to do, he ended up doing in the second game. And it was divided at best amongst fans. And then, you know, he basically did the same thing with the show. You know, he made some changes in the season 1, but like there wasn't really anything to change. It was just straightforward, and then whatever he did in season 2 just did not work for the most part. And, you know, yeah, I have a video up on the fucking channel talking about Last of Us season 2. After that third episode, you know, it's starting from that third episode. That season went downhill so fucking quick. The first episode, fine. You know, it's a setup episode. The second episode, I think, is one of the best fucking episodes in television. The third episode, I was like fine with because I figured it was going to be a setup episode. But after that, they just didn't go anywhere. And I don't know, Devin, did you finish the season?
Last of Us?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
JJ, last time we were talking about it, you hadn't finished it yet, right?
Yeah, I skipped the last episode. I don't give a shit anymore.
So you actually still haven't finished?
I haven't finished it now.
Oh, and that's what I'm talking about. And the thing is, like, you're not alone in that. The show had like a, what was it, like a 50% drop off or some shit from season finale to season finale.
Mm-hmm.
It was a huge drop off. There we go with the fireworks.
I hear that.
Yeah, I know. I'm like, it's not 4th of July, people. Let me let it finish. I just... anyways, yeah. It had a huge drop off. And if that's anything to go by, like, it's not going to get better. It probably is going to lose more viewers in the next season. Especially, too, because the thing is, you're asking the audience now to follow another main character in the next season. They went from Joel, who gets killed off, to Ellie, who, you know, the casual audience is probably going to think that she's dead for some reason, because that's how her little part ends in season 2. And we're going to be following Abby through season 3. You're asking a lot from an audience that probably has the attention span of a goldfish.
Yeah, brain rot.
You gotta put that Minecraft jumping videos, man, and keep them entertained.
Yeah, or was it that
with the AI voice?
Yeah, what's that running thing?
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about. I can't remember.
Where it's like a train. There's like the trains and stuff.
Yeah, the guy's like running on it. Yeah, I can't fucking remember. But apparently his dad made that for his kid that got killed or some shit.
Oh.
It's sad, but yeah, I know what game you're talking about. Fuck. Or the GTA videos, they go down.
Yeah, because like I have a coworker who like watches The Last of Us and talks to me about it, and then I'm like, oh yeah, like I mean, I can tell you what happens, like, because they don't play the video game. Like, I can tell you exactly what fucking happens if you want to know. And she's like, well, I don't know. I'm like, you should just watch, like, honestly, a walkthrough, because you're gonna have to wait fucking 4 years for the story to end. But, like, you can easily just watch a walkthrough of the cutscenes. Like, I even went on YouTube and like someone has a cut up of just all the cutscenes. You can just watch that, so you don't have to watch any like the gameplay or anything. So, like that's what I would do if I told them. They haven't done it yet, but I'm like, I wouldn't wait. Like, I'm like, the game and the story is better than what they're presenting on TV, because I'm like, I don't like how they're making Ellie stupid. Like, I mean, the clickers for a lot of this season. I mean, I forget after. I mean, what after episode 4? Like after, um, like Jesse, like saved them from those. I feel like we didn't see any clickers at all after that, or there were very few. So I don't know. It just feels like weird. So
You know, I
Yeah,
think
yeah.
you're right. I don't think there was any.
so for like 2 or 3 episodes, there was just nothing. It's weird.
But yeah, I don't know. Maybe Craig Mazin. He could fix some of the stuff. Maybe he changes the ending, or I don't know. But yeah, Neil Druckmann.
Maybe they all become dads. I don't know.
I don't know. Neil Druckmann won't be there. I can tell you that. All right, let's go ahead and move on to some Nintendo talk. So, I don't know if Devin, you might have actually not been on the podcast when we were talking about this, or if we even did talk about it. But like, so there's, part of the, what do you call it? Like, I guess the EULA for Nintendo Switch, end user license agreement, for people who don't know what that means. If you're doing something you're not supposed to do with the console, like trying to, play games you're not, in a way you're not supposed to, and stuff like that, they could just brick your console. Well, I mean, you won't be able to play online. You could still play offline, but, it was last week, right? JJ, we were talking about this? Like,
Yeah,
there's no
because
point.
we were trying to sell them. Yeah.
Because there's like no point. I mean, they break your console and you can't play online. There's no point even anyway, because most of the games are game key cards or whatever they are, where you have to download the game anyway. So yeah. Well, Brazil's not happy about that. Brazil's bringing legal action against Nintendo for what they're calling the clause as abusive under a Brazilian law. Now, obviously, it's Brazil. Countries and all that stuff have different laws, and what happens there doesn't necessarily affect, or not affect, but isn't necessarily the same of what it would happen here or whatever it is. The only reason I'm bringing this up is because, maybe it can set a precedent. That if Brazil could be like, hey, yeah, no, you're gonna have to take that off, and there's some kind of case that's brought against Nintendo, and Nintendo's forced to be like, okay, yeah, we're not going to do that. That maybe it's a trickle-down effect or whatever it is, and it happens in other countries. Because, I mean, it's not a popular thing that they can just say, yeah, your console, yeah, you can't go online anymore. And, it caused issues because, yeah, people were buying used Switches off of people that weren't able to go online. I mean, then we were talking about it too. Like, it happened to some dude whose gamer tag, his name was like Twink Link.
Zelda Twink. Yeah, Twink Link. Oh, God. Nintendo's so dumb sometimes.
Yeah. So, I mean, like, it didn't matter, obviously, that they were making a lot of, unpopular choices, we'll say. Switch 2's like on track to be the fastest selling console of all time. It's sold, I want to say it's already sold like 30 million or something like that. or maybe not 30 million, but it sold a certain amount of millions in. Fuck. Let me see. Switch to sales. Oh, that's where I got the number 3 from, because it sold like almost 10 million in 3 weeks, which is like way too quick. Yeah, it's selling a lot. It didn't matter that they're gonna sell their games for $80. You have to put your phone number for voice chat, things like that. People were gonna buy this fucking thing. It was gonna happen. But yeah, like, they don't do popular things. We say it, or at least I say it all the time. They march to the beat of their own drum. Yeah, I'm hoping that this does have an effect on just the world in general, because yeah, I would like for that to not be a thing, where like Nintendo could just brick your console and that's it.
Unless they win, it's not gonna do shit. So, like, Brazil needs to win.
Well, I know Brazil needs to win.
Yeah. Yeah. So.
But yeah, okay. All right. Let's see. All right, let's talk about these last few things. Have you guys been keeping up with this Stop Killing Games initiative?
I've been listening to Pirate Software, dude. A fucking moron.
Oh yeah, he has not been. He's not been a fan.
My dad works at Blizzard. He used to work at Blizzard.
I love that, like, because okay, Devin, I'm assuming you're not really up to date too much.
No, I know what's going on.
Okay, well, let's get a quick timeline.
You know what happens? You know what happens when you assume, right?
Yeah, it makes an ass out of you and me. Anyways.
No, just say you.
All right. So let's just have a quick timeline for, our 1 to 3 viewers out there.
Hell yeah, brother.
It's in the UK, but there was a petition called Stop Killing Games. It's just basically, because publishers can just, stop selling a game and then that's it. That game, you can't get it anywhere legally or through cheap means. It's not readily available for purchase or to be played because games can be shut down and all that.
Like Anthem.
Or actually, Ubisoft just put in their current, like, EULA, that, like, basically when it comes to, the games, obviously you agree to their terms or whatever, that once this game is either like offline or they ban you from it or they terminate the EULA on their own, you, like, let's say you have a physical copy of Assassin's Creed and that's it, you have to, like, you're legally obligated to destroy the copy or delete it, whatever it is. There's things like that. That's Ubisoft. So yeah, it's been. So I don't know how long this thing has been kicking around, but it's from. I don't remember who started
the petition. I know it was a YouTuber.
Petition. It was a YouTuber. I'm trying to remember. I don't remember his name. Well, I mean, who started it? Even though, yes, it's important, the big thing was it didn't really gain a lot of traction until this other YouTuber, you already mentioned his name, Pirate Software, he tore into it. He, like I said, to put it lightly, he's not a fan. And he said stuff like, this is shit. This whole thing can eat my ass. It's complete dog shit. Blah, 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 blah. So then, after that, it started gaining more traction. You had other YouTubers talking about it, you know, like Moist Critical and
Yo, our boy Asmongold, bro.
Asmongold, Mudahar. You know, there's other.
Dude, shut up. He's not our boy. I despise him.
Yeah.
It was, I think, Ross Scott. It looks like it's from like when I'm looking it up.
I'm trying to remember his YouTube channel, but I can't remember it for the life of me right now.
Cursed Farms?
Cursed Farms. There we go. There we go.
I
So, yeah.
gotta type his name, just type who started it, and I found it.
Well, I'm trying to go through this timeline of what's happened. Anyways,
But there you go.
that led up all the way to it needed 1 million signatures. It's hit its 1 million signatures goal. Pirate Software was not happy about that. He basically said, "I hope you get everything that you wanted and nothing, or what? I hope you get everything that you asked for and nothing you wanted." And I'll leave it at that. I don't know what he means exactly by that, but yeah.
Fuck him, dude.
Yeah, he's look. I understand where he's coming from. He's just going about it the wrong way, because I'm kind of on his side in a way when it comes to this. You know, people want to talk about like, oh, games need to be preserved, and obviously in the thing it said like no games that were made before this count. It's just basically every game from here on outward. But there's a problem with that. If companies have to make games in ways where now if we decide we're not going to be supporting this game, but it still has to stay like up, you're essentially telling them you have to keep pouring money into this game, even if it has, like, let's say Anthem is made after. Obviously, it doesn't count, but we'll use it as the example. You know, Devin made the joke, those 2 players are going to be pissed. But, like, in a sense, he's not wrong. I mean, if you look up how many players Anthem had on the Steam charts, probably not a lot. If any, you know. It probably, honestly, might be at 0. Like, so you're now saying that EA has to keep this game online no matter what, because
or it means you need to also, or just have an offline mode that doesn't break the game.
Exactly, there you go. I was just saying, like, maybe have a failsafe, like, hey, this is going to end of life.
It's kind of like, what was that fucking vampire game that Xbox
Redfall
came out with recently? Redfall. Like, you just need to make an offline, like, just make it to where there's an offline mode. And you can do couch co-op or, like, have a LAN party, and you shut the servers down.
Okay.
But the game, if you were to go buy it from GameStop, you could still pop it in and play it.
But what about a lot of the Battle Royale modes? Like, Battle Royale games that weren't popular.
The free-to-play Battle Royale games, nobody cares.
Yeah, but then, see, now you're picking and choosing at that point.
It's a free-to-play Battle Royale game? Like,
you just make it offline. You can have a LAN mode.
Yeah,
you can have a LAN mode.
Or play, if you want to play against bots, go ahead.
Yeah, you could just have an offline mode where you just, like, let's say Fortnite bricked and just, like, no one played it in 5 years. Like, there's an offline mode where you just play against 99 bots, and that's it. Or you can have a buddy come over and you just play against bots, and that's the offline mode.
That still means that publishers and developers have to allocate resources.
Yeah, so
to that.
what?
Yes.
So
Yeah,
what?
so what?
These are like big developers. Like, it's not like you're having like the Balatro dude. Like, you're not telling him later on, like, hey, like, I know you're just one. Like, you're talking about like, oh, boo-hoo, EA has to spend money to make them able to make a better game instead of just pushing out some stuff. Like, they'll make sure that it's not going to be some piece of shit game that's going to die. Like, if they're going to have to spend money to make an offline mode for it, they're going to make sure they're going to make
in essence,
damn good.
What is going to happen then is that publishers are going to say, well, okay, we don't care about that. what we're just gonna do instead is start shutting down studios even at an even quicker rate and laying people off more, because we don't want to spend the money, and we're not. And then this game is not going to be developed, and this game isn't going to be developed. This is the issue I have.
Or maybe make a good fucking game. Or maybe it makes a good fucking game instead of people trashing out shit of like the shitty Assassin's Creed, the Battlefields and shit. We actually get a good fucking game where developers that actually enjoy it and want to make a fucking game, so their games can last a fucking while.
Okay.
Instead of just cash grab from fucking coat people.
That's a completely subjective thing, saying make a good game. Yes, there's objectively bad games like Right to Hell, Retribution, stuff like that, but it's still a subjective game. I'm not a fan of like the Assassin's Creed, but a lot of people are. Or like Devin isn't a fan of Destiny. You're not a fan of Destiny, but I'm a huge fan of Destiny. Devin isn't a fan of like World of Warcraft, but you're a huge fan of World of Warcraft. Like,
there's a difference. World of Warcraft actually
it won't die.
has redeeming qualities. Like Destiny's just dog shit.
Well, it's not. So
okay.
The thing is, like, back then before there's agendas and shit, like people that made World of Warcraft made it because they want to make a good MMO game from their lore shit, and that was so massive, and they could do that. Like, there's no way this game's gonna shut down. We kind of sometimes wish, because the game's dog shit most of the time from these expansions, but like it doesn't matter. There's still people playing. Like, I'm playing fucking WoW Classic from an expansion dropped 13 years ago. Like, it doesn't matter. Like, as long as they make a good game and it works fine, and have people have fail safes, that's fine. And maybe not the games now, but future games that are released for having online only sections, I guess you can make it into like, oh, we have a fucking switch, we can just like, oh, just put bots in the game. Like Destiny turns off, oh, we can just have 2 bots pop in, or when you do a raid, pop 5 bots or some shit to play with you. That's it.
Like it'd be like a Splatoon. Like who the fuck plays Splatoon online? Like,
I mean, they're making another one, so enough people must be.
Well, that one's only a single player game. The next Splatoon doesn't even have multiplayer.
Oh well, that I did not know that. Actually,
It basically is it's just an offline Splatoon game.
Because they're making another one. Obviously, another online, I think, later. But
yeah, like this one's kind of like an offshoot thing where it's just all.
I don't. For me, I'm just saying that this is asking a lot.
What a surprise! You're just taking the side of the corporations.
No, I'm not taking the side of the corporations. I'm looking at it in an objective viewpoint, like what reality actually is. Like, that's the thing. People want to live in a fantasy world where it's like, no, but if we do this or this, and that, and then we get what we want. But that's not how life works. That just isn't. We're going to get to the big thing of, with the Microsoft stuff, later on, of like, there's a reason that it's like this, and it's going to continue like this. And it's an unfortunate, especially here in the United States, where, capitalism is king. These are things that we have to take. And to say, we want this instead, or we're going to do this instead, or this is, just makes it worse in the end, because publishers aren't going to look at like, oh, fuck, yeah, you're right. We should do this because you're going to do this instead. Okay, never mind. Yeah, we'll just do it. No, they're going to be like, oh, well, fuck you then. We're not making enough money because of you. So we're just going to cut our losses and run. Or we're going to do this. Like, that's just the unfortunate reality. We cannot live in Candyland. We live in the real world. And publishers and companies and corporations, they don't care about us. They only care about that bottom dollar. And if we try to do something that's going to affect that bottom dollar, it inevitably backfires on us.
Nah, we just think it's the indie games like Balatro, like that game pops off, Phasmophobia. Then we start playing indie games, nobody gives a shit about fucking AAA games anymore. Or Ubisoft's quadruple A games.
And
like,
see,
nobody gives a fuck anymore.
And that's...
We don't need to be afraid. You're afraid of pissing off the billionaires, Effort. You're just like, you know what? We don't want to piss them off, so let's just keep licking their boots.
No, it's not about pissing them off. Again, it's not about pissing them off. I'm not on their side. But now what you're talking about, JJ, like, okay, we'll just do this instead. That sends the message that, oh, we don't want to spend money here. So then now you have EA like, oh, well, you know what, we'll just shut down, Respawn Studios.
Then make a good game.
And BioWare.
Make a good game. You gotta make Titanfall 3. Done. Answer. Literally years and years of people wanting Titanfall 3. Apex Legends. Best I can do. Another hero. But it's kind of... didn't like a fucking 13-year-old or 15-year-old kid hack your tournament? Here's another hero. New season. Dog shit. Fuck yourselves.
I want to say, yeah.
Like, it doesn't matter.
Like
it doesn't fucking matter. Like, it's just dumb as shit, bro. I'd rather play a fucking Titanfall 1, dude. Like it just gives a shit. But they just double down on fucking goddamn their shitty microtransaction live service shit, bro. We all want fucking Titanfall 3, and they never delivered, and it fucking died. Like, it's like we all want something. Like, we be loving it. Battlefield 3, Titanfall 3, like, they just don't listen. Like, oh, we spent $400 million on this game, bro. Why didn't they buy it, man? Like, cause we don't give a fuck, dude. We want games that are fun and enjoyable. But nobody fucking listens, dude. Like, especially when games get more fucking expensive, and they just drop it like, oh, yep, sorry, like, game's over. Suck my ass. Like, okay, cool. I'm like, I'd rather spend, like, $20 for the fuck Balatro, and just have fun with it, and the guy just makes wacky DLC. If it's like, oh, game shut down, well, at least it's a single player, so I don't give a fuck, or whatever.
Well, I'm just saying, remember...
That's all I meant.
Remember when we start losing a lot of classic studios. It's because there's a lot of people that have that mindset. That don't want to... They just automatically well, I'm not going to spend
We haven't already?
Oh, but it's going to get worse. It's going to get worse.
Obscure 33. They left Ubisoft
I don't
and made
think
that
it can
game.
get worse than where it's at right now.
It's going to get worse. It is...
I don't think it can get worse than where it's at right now.
It's just easy. They just fuck off the thingies, make their own fucking games, and just pop the fuck off. That's it. Like I said, like with the ex-developers of Ubisoft making Expedition 33. Game of the year shit right there.
Yeah, but like, would that game have gotten where it is without something like Game Pass?
Yeah.
I think so, 100%. I would have bought it. I would have bought it for. Yeah, I would have bought it full price for that.
I think
I'd still buy it.
You can look at sales on Steam and like PlayStation 5. Like, people still bought that game. Like, it wasn't just
word of mouth
on Game
because
Pass.
of Game Pass.
No, it's not just Game Pass, bro. Nobody's gonna be like, let's wait until the Game Pass people to tell us how to fuck now.
No, that game would have.
That's like the same argument with fucking Cyberpunk, fucking the anime popped off, so that's why everybody's fucking doing that shit. Fuck off. No, people sort of liked it. It would have been a good game anyway. Went there without Game Pass.
No, because see, that's the thing. When word of mouth or something like drives eyes and ears to that, whatever it is, people start playing it. It's just like with the Fallout show. Fallout. Like, when the Fallout show came out, like, a bunch of people either returned or a bunch of people became new players of the Fallout games. Like, it saw, like, all this resurgence in the games.
That's
yeah, it's like you playing fucking Last of Us when fucking the show came out. I'm gonna play Last of Us 2 again. Like, okay.
Well,
yeah, that's a bad example because you're talking about a different medium attracting people to, not like a word of mouth of like a game. That's a bad example.
No, it's a perfect example because it's still word of mouth. It's word of mouth. It's people see this and like, hey, I want to try it now, and then it spreads. It's like a disease. It's supposed to spread.
No, people were talking about it all. Like, you could go, like, Instagram, TikTok. You were getting reels and TikToks about people talking about this game. You're getting streamers talking about this game. That's where the word of mouth was coming from. It wasn't coming from people on Game Pass saying like this game was gonna pop off regardless if it came out on Game Pass. Like, the game, like I get notifications from the people I follow on Twitter. Like, they're still tweeting about like, oh, Claire Obscure back in stock at Amazon, back in stock. Like, it's selling out on PS5. Like, it's not like they can't even keep it in stock. So like, it would have popped off regardless. Like, it was one of those games. Didn't like being on Game Pass saved people on Xbox from like having to buy it, but it would have sold regardless. Like if a game is as good as it is, it's not my style, but from like when I watch it and have people talk about it, like for a turn-based RPG, like they're saying it's the top of the tier. Like it was gonna sell regardless of being on Game Pass.
Because those people were also very passionate about the project. And it's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Oh shit, cool. So I was right. Yeah, I was right. Most of the players are on Game Pass and everything. Okay. Yeah, so the Game Pass is what did it. All right. I had to look it up. I had to look it up. But
You make it look
no,
like,
but they sold
that
sold
doesn't mean
3.3
that doesn't mean
million
that was word of
players.
mouth.
They have sold
That doesn't mean that word of
3.3
mouth.
million though. That game sold a lot. 3.3 million.
That's like
though.
saying like Oblivion also like, oh dude, Oblivion's only word of mouth because the fucking goddamn like the remake
Actually-
of Game Pass is amazing as shit.
Actually,
That's why.
Claire Obscure sold more than than Oblivion.
That still goes to my
Good.
point. Like, oh, it's on Game Pass. So only Game Pass people can dictate that shit because it was free.
Claire
Because of
Obscure
course
sold
everybody's
more
gonna
than
play it,
Oblivion.
especially it gets higher because the game got being rated, and people that never played it and didn't want to play it actually not playing it. It's on Game Pass.
That's what I'm saying. Because it's on Game Pass, people played it, and then it
No,
spread,
you're saying it's
and then
only
it sold
been
a bunch.
good because of Game Pass. It was gonna be good regardless. I don't give a fuck. That's it. It's only free. We can't beat free. That's just. Whatever,
How many
whatever.
good games don't sell well because of whatever reason? Especially a game like Claire Obscure probably shouldn't have sold as well as it was going to sell because it was getting released alongside, Oblivion. Doom was going to come out soon. There was like something else too that came out around the time. Like when games like that are going to release, it needs some kind of like jumping off point. That's where Game Pass came in. It's a jumping off point for it. It's like you can't just, we've seen bigger games that don't get that kind of stuff where it's like, I could just try it out. That fail because it's releasing around some other shit. I mean, shit, look at Horizon. Both Horizon games released around the wrong time. Now, obviously, they still ended up with good sales because the PlayStation people are going to buy the game. People love those two games or whatever, I guess. Well, they sold enough. But, like, that's... When you have something like that, that's why, like, demos being, like, pretty much a non-existent thing sucks. Demos were always good to be like, I want to try this game out. Is there a demo? Cool. I'm going to play it. Oh, I like this, so I'm going to buy it. But how many games do you see have demos nowadays? Remember before? Like, every game practically had a demo. You need a jumping off point. You need the jumping off point. Especially a game that's not... It's going to be, like... It's their first game, right?
The jumping off point is streamers and
media outlets,
influencers.
like IGN. Like, would have given it 9 out of 10.
I would say it's you like the two, like in order for a game to pop off, you need to have your streamers, and then you need to have like if that Steam streamer like is active then on TikTok or Instagram to have their reels go up. That is how games now like are going off. Like tradition. I mean, that's why we're seeing like you're seeing sites traffic go down and websites are getting shut down because like traditional websites, because people don't have like the brain attention span to pay attention to all this stuff. Like it is those short 30-second TikToks that people are going to watch on a video game, and that's what's going to get the hook. So if a game can get that traction and go viral on TikTok, like that's what's going to make a game go off.
That's where a lot of the horror games get their shit too. A lot of streamers and social media people.
No, because social media is now a big advertising source for those companies.
Why is the gaming industry? Blah, 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 blah. Yeah. Alright. Oh shit, what did I do that for? Alright, let's go ahead and move to the next thing. Anyways, Stop Killing Games got its 1 million. We'll see where it goes, because it was just... I think there was even like quick before that actually, there was like a statement. Fuck, I need to find that statement. I thought I saved it. From like a video game board that, of course, it's got people from Epic Games and Microsoft and Sony and all that stuff. Basically saying like, yeah, this ain't gonna work. But like, come on. Of course, they're gonna be opposed to it. Like, why would they? I cannot find the damn statement that they put out. Yeah, okay. Oh, wow. I mean, like I said, the gist of it was that, like, yeah, this isn't going to work. That's basically what they were saying in their statement. They don't, but again, like, why would they advocate for it? Why would they be like, yeah, no, this is a good idea, we're going to take a look into it? They're not going to. It affects their bottom dollar, like I said. They would not want that to pass.
I would be fine if, like, a game, as long as your game has an offline mode, like, if there is, like, let's say, like, with Call of Duty, like, Warzone, they decide to stop supporting it. Like, I'd be fine with that because it's like, okay, you guys still have, like, there's a COD single player. So you could still play, like, because, like, I don't know, they gave Warzone away for free. Or maybe you could say if the game you give away is free, it doesn't apply. Like, like, because Warzone's a free game. You could be like, if a game's given away for free, Fortnite, Warzone, if those games shut down, like, yeah, you put microtransactions into them, but you didn't actually ever buy the game. So those can be shut down. But if you're playing, like, let's say, like Splatoon, there just needs to be, like, a bot mode. If someone's buying the game, like a full $60 game, then you need to have, like, there needs to be an end of life mode in there. And whether that's a bot multiplayer mode, if it's a 100% online game, or with, like, Splatoon 3, there is a single player campaign. So you could just shut down the multiplayer and be like, you still have the campaign to play, like, leave us alone. Like, the game is still playable. Yeah, all modes may not be available, but some of it is still there. Like, I feel like there's some compromises you could come up with because, yeah, I don't know. Just obviously spitballing rather than just having it as black and white, like, yes, this needs to be here. And,
Well, we'll see, but companies are obviously...
They're going to say yes because that's what the people want to hear, but they don't give a shit.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. They don't give a shit. They'll do everything they can to basically either circumvent anything that could happen or just totally drop a lot of stuff to be like...
Yeah, I mean, that happens 100% in, like, even our political environment. It's just like, oh yeah, we're totally going to do all these things, and then they get an offer. Nothing gets done, so...
Yeah. Alright, one more thing, and then we'll talk about the big Microsoft story. So, Helldivers 2. It's coming to Xbox August 26th. The same day as Gears of War Reloaded is being released. I love this because I would have much rather, obviously play Helldivers on my Xbox. Now here's, Helldivers coming to Xbox is, obviously a big story in and of itself. But that's not really why I wanted to bring it up, because that's just a quick, oh, we're excited, cool, we'll play it when we play it, blah, 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 blah. Here's the thing. Here's why I wanted to bring it up. To me, this signals that PlayStation is probably, more leaning toward, like, heavily, maybe 90-95% leaning toward, like, yeah, we're probably going to start releasing our games on Xbox. And here's why. Like, people have said that they've been doing it already. I've seen some of that online. Oh, MLB The Show, Death Stranding. But if you look at those games, MLB The Show was published by MLB. Death Stranding's 505 Games. This is published by PlayStation. And not just PlayStation Studios. They made a new little thing that says PlayStation Publishing LLC. That's what's publishing Helldivers on Xbox. And then of course you have, so the other thing, a bunch of fanboys have been saying, well, this isn't actually a first party game. But PlayStation owns the rights to Helldivers. Yeah, second party studios making it, but this is their franchise. It's would be the same thing like, I don't know, if Gears of War Judgment was released on what do you call it? On PlayStation.
Sony.
Because even though Xbox owns Gears, it was made by a second party studio. People Can Fly. But if they released it on, it's still a first party thing, just made by another studio. Not only that, actually, Nixxes Software is the one porting it over to Xbox. That is a Sony first party studio. They're mainly meant to be porting games over to like PC and stuff though. But maybe now they're going to start having them port games over to Xbox as well and Switch.
Interesting.
I'm just saying. I mean,
Switch to getting Helldivers.
Well, I mean, Lego Horizon was also on Switch, so it's like, I don't know. I feel like they're just like dipping their toe in cross-platform instead of just going like balls to the wall.
No, look, I don't think that they're going to do what Xbox did. Like Xbox, what was it, last year, right? They released, they're famous, it's just 4 games. Sea of Thieves, Grounded, fucking 2 others, I don't remember.
Hi-Fi Rush.
Hi-Fi Rush?
Yeah.
And something else.
You said Forza? Hi-Fi Rush?
Oh, was it Forza? No. No, I don't think it was Forza. It was something else.
Oh, Sea of Thieves.
Yeah, I said Sea of Thieves, Grounded, Hi-Fi Rush. It was something else. I don't remember.
I'll figure it out.
Yeah. And then, yes, later on, Forza Horizon is coming to. Now we have Gears coming to PlayStation. I assume once the Halo game is announced, they'll probably say it's going to come to PlayStation. So it was a gradual, like, yeah, we're releasing our stuff, on PlayStation.
It looks like it's Pentiment. That's the other game.
Pentiment. There we go. That was the other game. So, like, it started off with smaller stuff and gradually went to the bigger games. And, I mean, like, Sony's done already some of the similar things. With, like, some of their games are releasing on PC. At some point, they're going to start releasing... Because they're going to start releasing on PC more because, like, there was that thing... I wish I saved it, actually. It's Capcom. Like, most of their revenue comes from PC. Capcom. Like, most of their money... I think I saw it was like 70% of their revenue is PC. So, like... Yeah, PC is becoming a bigger and bigger market for publishers to release their games on to make more money on. And there's a reason, obviously Microsoft saw that. And so that's why they've started releasing, they started releasing their games, 7-8 years ago? Or whatever it was? On PC. And, that's...
Xbox has no exclusives.
I know. So, like, obviously PlayStation is late to the party, but eventually they're, like, I keep saying it. I've been saying it, and I've been saying it. And I know the fanboys have just been like, no, it's never going to happen, because PlayStation has integrity, and they're just a traditional no. At the end of the day, they're going to want to make as much money as possible. And how do you do that? You release it on PC and you also release it on the other console. Especially now, like, PlayStation's obviously the dominant console. You know, people are saying, I've seen the fanboys saying, like, well, if you could just play your games on Xbox, why buy a PlayStation then? Blah, blah, blah. No, people are going to still buy a PlayStation because that's their console of choice. It's just how it is. Just because you could play all the games on both consoles doesn't mean that you're not... It's the same thing, like Devin. Obviously, you'll be able to play Gears and probably eventually Halo and all this stuff on PlayStation. Does that mean the next cycle of consoles that you're going to be like, well, I'll just get a PlayStation instead? I'm assuming you're still going to want to get an Xbox, right?
Yeah, I mean, I'll get all of them, but I mean...
But Xbox is your
choice.
Yeah, it's Xbox.
Yeah, just, I mean, better controller, so... That's really what it comes down to, is, like, controller preference.
Yeah. And so, like...
Yeah, 'cause especially a lot of games are now being cross-platform now.
Mm-hmm.
It makes it easier to game.
So, yeah, like... People have their preferences. And Microsoft saw this, obviously. That's why they're releasing games where they're releasing games. Because they're trying to make as much money as possible. Especially after freaking, you know, spending $80 billion on acquisitions the past 10 years. Like, they gotta make all that money back. And do some unfortunate stuff that we'll talk about next. But yeah. Like I said, to me this signals that this is where PlayStation is going. They're going to do the quote-unquote third-party publishing as well. Like, come back to this in 3 to 5 years. Mark my words, we're going to be playing God of War, Last of Us, Uncharted, all those games on Xbox as well.
I wouldn't doubt, yeah, Last of Us,
especially with Steam going to be on.
Oh yeah.
No.
Xbox.
But not the Steam version. I'm talking about an actual Xbox version. No, I'm talking about...
Like, that's when Sony should sell, like, the fucking... That's when we get the complete edition for Last of Us bullshit.
Oh, my God. Jesus Christ. I just realized, yeah. Sony's like, oh, my God. Another opportunity to re-release the Last of Us games.
You know how insane it would be if they do, like...
The Last of Us
get their heads out their asses and be like... They're like, Bloodborne... Coming to Xbox. Fuck it, dude. Fuck you guys.
They should. And then they can just release like, I don't know. They could be like. That's the thing is they could get so. They could make so much money because they could be like. They could just re-release and be like, oh yeah, here's the Killzone.
Here's the Killzone
franchise.
Here's a God of War trilogy Xbox edition. You know.
Infamous,
just like,
bro. Bring all those dead fucking franchises back and just make money.
Mm-hmm.
It's actually a fucking brilliant idea to be honest. As long as they preserve the game, you know. Oh wait, they're all single player games. Cool.
Sony's, when it comes to games as service and live service and all that stuff, yeah, Sony's not doing that shit anytime soon. They have Destiny and that's about it. Like Marathon's fucking up. Concord was a failure. They canceled a bunch of them. Like, you know, they had there was going to be a Twisted Metal live service game, a Spider-Man live service game, God of War, Last of Us Factions Online. They had like 6 or 7 that they've canceled recently. Plus, obviously, shut down Concord. When it came to their live service initiative, they kind of fucking crashed and burned. But, yeah. So, yeah.
Well, the live service genre as a whole is crashed and burned.
Look, I keep saying this. Like, the live service thing is the way it is because everyone has their game. Like...
Well, yeah, we've talked about all of us have said that.
That's yeah.
Like,
unless
you have your dog shit game. JJ's got his dog
Gears.
Shit game.
Gears is my online.
Gears is not your.
Fuck you.
Destiny is your live service game.
Oh, I mean,
Gears is not a live. Gears is a multiplayer game. Gears is not a live service game. Gears
you don't
have
actually. Yeah, Devin, you don't have your live service game.
I don't have my live service game. I don't like the genre. Like it.
Hey, we're playing Tomorrow Rival, dude.
Yeah, but I'm not logging in. I'm like, oh, I'm not.
I was gonna say, JJ's got several live service games.
Yeah, JJ has enough for me and him.
Yeah.
There you go. I got you, Devin. Yeah, but you got to play Tomorrow Rival soon. My buddy Opan's like, we got to play with Devin again.
JJ's got Marvel Rivals. He's got World of Warcraft. He's got RuneScape. Yeah, he's got How do you find the time, JJ? Jesus.
It's called working from home.
Oh, okay, yeah, that makes sense.
He also doesn't
Okay.
sleep. JD, I
I
think sleeps like
don't.
2 hours.
I stay up till like 2, 3 in the morning because that's the only time to really actually game, like game.
Oh yeah.
So pretty much when we all like play the Elden Ring, like once I pretty much just go do other shit. Like after that, I go play World WoW, League, or whatever before Dad Mode comes in the next morning.
All right, so yeah, Helldivers coming to. I saw someone saying like,
Probably get it.
so, I'm gonna get
It'll
it.
be a Master Chief just showed up.
Oh my god.
Just drops down. Master Chief just drops down in a pod.
No,
Oh, like
no. No,
ODST
it
skins.
can't be Master Chief. It has to be ODSTs. ODSTs make way
'cause
more
they
sense.
die.
Well, yeah, that too.
Yeah, but still, like, it's a skin. Like, things don't have to make sense. Beavis and Butthead are in goddamn Call of Duty. Like,
You know, I contemplated
Chief-
if we should talk about that, but fuck.
Dude,
like
I
Master
hate
Chief
it, bro.
being in there. Like, yeah, Master
That's
Chief's
funny.
gonna die or whatever, a bunch or whatever.
Doom
But like,
guy, dude, that'd be cool.
Well, no.
You can have the
The only
Gears
reason I
guy.
say the only reason I say ODSTs
Carmine.
is because ODSTs are literally what the Helldivers are. They're
in
orbital
those,
drop
they're
troopers.
in those drop pods. Yeah.
Yeah.
I know. But yeah, I mean, you can have like, you could just make Master Chief could be in there. Yeah, it doesn't make actual like lore or continuity sense or whatever, but just from a cool standpoint, Master Chief, Carmine, even kind of looks like a Helldiver with his fucking helmet on.
That'd be sick. I'll buy that shit in a heartbeat, bro.
Especially because Carmine dies all the time, so it's just like that's hilarious too in itself. Because like you'd have Carmine dying a shit ton in Helldivers would be hilarious.
I saw someone saying that like this is the Barbenheimer for video games, but I don't think they came up with like a name. Like, and I'm like,
but I mean, in the end, it's a good thing because
Hell
it's gonna be more bugs and robots that are gonna be killed to like for the overall goal. So
yeah.
like, for people who actually like Helldivers,
They're like, finally we're getting reinforcements, shit like that, you know. That's like I'm tempted to buy on an Xbox just because I don't like setting up my PlayStation and whatever. And I'm like, maybe playing on Xbox would be pretty fun, but what was it? Or, like Zach said that it's not gonna be cross progression, which is kind of lame as shit.
Yeah, it's
At the same time, I
crossplay.
wasn't too high level.
It's
But
crossplay,
anyway,
but not cross progression.
the thing though, like I don't think we're that high level. We didn't even break 20. I think it was like maybe like 11, 12.
yeah, we didn't get very high.
I do want to get it, so.
Yeah, I'll probably get it later, like after maybe Black Friday or something. Because again, August,
We're gonna be playing Gears.
Yeah.
that
next
day.
month's On the Hill, fucking Final Fantasy Tactics, like all that's when all the fall games are coming out. So it's gonna be.
I mean, those are useless games. No one cares about that.
You know what's one thing though that like this announcement has like made an absolute meltdown of like the PlayStation fanboys, like to the point where a lot of them were like deleting their Twitter accounts. Like a lot of prominent voices in the PlayStation fanboy, like YouTuber spaces and all that stuff. Also, like a lot of them are like sharing this thing of like, yeah, let's make the Xbox players, let's make it hell for them, because you know there's team killing and stuff. So it's like, oh, if you see someone who's on Xbox, kill them and all that stuff. I'm like, Jesus.
Cool, you can get banned, but whatever.
Yeah,
I'm
and
like-
you're gonna just make it. You're gonna make the mission harder on yourself. You're not gonna meet the goals of like the overall killing and stuff like that. So it's like, sure,
Yeah.
if you really want to.
Yeah, well, it's like it's at the Twitter, like, oh, you guys are killing me. I'm on Xbox. You're killing because I'm on Xbox, and then the people can be like, I bet, and they just get banned. Like, cool, because like that's not for democracy or whatever. So, and then they'll get fucking butthurt, like, oh yeah, that's not fair. Oh, what the fuck, dude? Like, don't be a dick. Do not be a penis.
Yeah. All right then, let's go ahead and get into the last thing. All right, the biggest news of this past week. Not
Sure
a good
about
one. It's not a good one. But it's
Unless you're Microsoft, shareholders, then it's really good.
Yeah. So Microsoft, as a whole, laid off 9,000 people. Obviously, this affected their Xbox division, the gaming division. But yeah, when it comes to what happened, let's just say for Xbox, it was a bloodbath. So Rare suffered some layoffs, but their game Everwild canceled. ZeniMax Online suffered some layoffs. They had an unannounced project canceled.
The MMO, yeah.
Yeah. Raven Software, Sledgehammer, a bunch of other studios, even the Halo studios apparently lost like 2 people.
Oof.
Yeah. Layoffs.
Catching straight,
there.
dude.
Turn 10 Studios lost 50% of its staff, and talk is now they're basically looking to end up being a support studio for Playground Games in development of Forza Horizon. So, in essence, the Motorsport series is now possibly canceled. There's also a bunch of other unannounced stuff that Microsoft was funding. Like, there was this game that Romero Games, John Romero's the guy who created Doom. His game got lost funding. So, you know, those games are all
The guy that made
canceled.
fucking Daikatana, the shit.
Yeah, Don Romero will make you his bitch.
Yeah, a lot of people, I've seen a lot of people are like, oh, so nothing of value was lost with him. Because, like, his last games
for that one.
were all bad or whatever. Apparently, 2 people were not feeling sorry for him because his studio made Empire of Sin. And I heard, I couldn't really find anything on it. I tried to look it up. I did my research as best I could, but I couldn't find anything to corroborate. But like, apparently there was supposed to be DLC that people paid for, and they just never released it. So I don't know about that. So yeah, a lot of people were like, "Oh, boo-hoo, fuck him." Basically, they didn't care. Now the biggest thing, the Initiative. They were the new studio that they opened up, and their first game was going to be Perfect Dark. That isn't happening anymore. Perfect Dark has been canceled, and the Initiative has been shut down. So yeah, again, it was a bloodbath at Xbox. Now, apparently, that quote unquote gameplay showing that we saw last year of Perfect Dark wasn't actual like gameplay. It was just rendered. So apparently they didn't even really have anything.
For 5 years, they don't have nothing.
Yeah. I've seen some of that. You know, obviously there's been a lot of outrage online, but I've seen some people who are trying to look at it like, you guys have to look at it. It's like Everwild was in development for, I think, like 8 years.
Yeah, it was like it went under like there at some point it completely they overhauled it.
Yeah.
Like. Yeah.
And then yeah, Perfect Dark. Yeah, development for so long. Like, it was one of those things where. So, like, I did put out a video on this. For Everwild, I was like, you know what? It's one of those smaller games. It is what it is. It sucks, but it was one of those things where you have to cut your losses and run. Because a smaller game like that, you shouldn't be developing for so long. But Perfect Dark was a big AAA title. That game needed to come out.
And recognizable.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know, a pretty recognizable name in, like, the gaming community.
Yeah, because it was good for, like, the N64. Fucking Perfect Dark Zero sucked dick.
Well, yeah.
And so this is one good game.
Yeah.
But still, it's...
Like it was
I don't know.
Development for 5 years, though. Like,
I know, you bought Rare, and you have that IP. Like, it seems like it would have been something to have.
Yeah, like, at least, like, pump it out or something, you know? Like, kind of light a fire in their asses. Like, dude, we need to get this shit out.
Yeah.
But...
Because that's the thing. Even though I'm
well, maybe can't sing Perfect Dark, maybe they get their asses doing a Via Pinata.
So not Viva Pinata, but
Instead of-
apparently
Instead of making Everwild, like they should have been making Viva Pinata 3.
Yeah, come on.
actually apparently Microsoft has been hearing a lot of pitches. This is rumors that Microsoft's been hearing a lot of different studios pitches for a new Banjo-Kazooie game, supposedly.
Nuts and bolts too.
Oh yeah. So okay,
Nuts
That'd be
and
kinda
Bolt.
cool.
Hot take though, Nuts and Bolt isn't a bad game. It's just not the Banjo-Kazooie game
That
we
people
all
wanted, yeah.
after all the years.
They had a third game and they're like, nah, we're good.
so yeah, okay. Obviously, we're gonna say the same thing that we've been saying when it comes to layoffs. Even when I think, JJ, we talked about some last week or whatever.
Yeah, last week. Yeah.
Like, it sucks. People losing their jobs, it sucks. And
Unless it's John Romero.
unless it's John Romero, apparently, then people are saying fuck him. But it's just been the reality for the past, what has it been, like 3 years of, it's everybody again. Like, that's the one thing that I've been hating seeing online, is that everyone is acting like it's a Microsoft Xbox thing only. But we've seen, we were just talking about, PlayStation's canceled, like, I think it was like they canceled 12 projects within the last year. They shut down studios. They've laid off people. The problem is that it doesn't look as bad because they don't employ as many people. Sony doesn't employ as many people as Microsoft.
Yeah, same. Like they have a lot of studios.
Yeah,
So of course,
Microsoft.
there'll be a lot of numbers.
But it just in general, like just the company as a whole. Even with this 9,000 people being laid off with Microsoft, it was like something like 4% of their workforce. If 9,000 people got laid off at Sony, it's probably a lot more than 4%. So
Yeah, because I mean, the Xbox division is tiny in comparison to
Actually, like software and all the computer shit.
of all what Microsoft does. Like Xbox is like baby shit.
yeah, so obviously the main reason I want to bring this up though is that it has brought up the whole. We see this so much recently. Xbox does something and all of a sudden now, or something happens with Xbox that's either seen as negative or seen as something that isn't popular or whatever it is, and we're going to the Xbox is dead. Game Pass is unsustainable narrative. It happened when Gears of War Reloaded was announced for PlayStation. Everyone's saying Xbox is dead. They're jumping out of the console business. But then we see they announce they're making another console. They literally officially announced it with AMD. And then everyone's like, oh yeah, Xbox is dead again with these layoffs. Even though it wasn't actually like Xbox, it was Microsoft as a whole laying off 9,000. And apparently, actually, they laid off these 9,000 people and like 6,000 people earlier this year or late last year, or whatever it was, because they want to free up money to spend $80 billion on AI infrastructure.
Yeah, it makes sense.
So, yeah. That's, yeah, AI is, I mean, it's coming. We can't stop AI. Companies want to use that. And they're going to use it. I mean, look, Microsoft doing what they're doing so they could have AI. An AI infrastructure.
Yeah, you gotta hit those profit goals, because I mean, on like July 3rd, they hit a record for their stock prices.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, they had to lay off people.
Yeah. But so again, the reason too I'm bringing this up with the whole like people are saying Game Pass is unsustainable is because even some former people who worked at Microsoft are saying this. Now,
the Arcane developer,
Mike Ibarra, who's been fired from Xbox twice now. Well, because he worked for Microsoft and then they let him go. And then he joined Blizzard. They bought Blizzard, or Activision Blizzard. and then they let him go again. So, yeah. He probably doesn't like Microsoft or Xbox very much. So, yeah. And then the guy from Arcane, people are, he hasn't even been with the studio apparently for like 8 years. So I don't know what's going on there. But, yeah. I just want to see, like, what are your guys' take on the layoffs, but then, like, the conversation now being brought into that, like, Game Pass is the cause of this kind of stuff. Yeah. Devin, we can start with you.
I don't think it's Game Pass's fault. I mean, especially if they're like, this is just corporate greed firing employees to, like, if Everwild and Perfect Dark were close to being finished, like, they wouldn't have laid off the staff. Like, if these games were close to being done, but they're looking for things, or that new MMO game, if those things were close to being done, because, like, I heard a rumor that Phil Spencer liked the progress that was being made on that new MMO game. Like, he liked the direction it was going, stuff like that, and what was playable. But it was probably really far out because we haven't seen anything from it. It's not like they announced, like, oh, here's our new whatever game, whatever they're gonna call it, untitled MMO. They're looking for cuts so they can save money, and unfortunately, these games are gonna got axed, and, like, it's just corporate greed to fire these guys, invest in AI, so then they don't have to hire them back. So it's just like, it's fucking stupid. Like, that's the bigger thing of why, like, I don't know, unions need to be a thing, and why I think they've talked about video games having, like, the video game industry having unions. It's like part of this reason. Like, and there are cons to unions, but, like, the pros are corporations just can't come in and gut people just because they want to save a few bucks. It's like Microsoft, like, I joked about it. Microsoft hit a record high on their stock. Like, it was almost $500 per share, and that's an all-time high. So it's like, do you guys really need to be, like, cutting staff? Like,
Well, so actually, with your, like, saying that record high, according to, like, different analyst firms and all this stuff, Xbox is expected to generate $5.5 billion in revenue this year.
yeah. So it's like, do they really, like?
That's 200%.
Cut these?
Like, that's a 200% rise in the last 3 years, apparently. So yeah, keep on.
Yeah. No, yeah, it's all just corporate greed. Like, all these corporations are finding ways to fire people, and because that's the easiest way to make more profit. Because for some reason in this world, like, you can't just make the same amount. Like, if your revenue, your profit was like 5% one year, like, you have to then do like 7% the next year. Like, if you do the same amount, like I don't know, if you beat your projections by 5%, like, you can't just beat your projections for the next year by 5%. Like, it's got to be 10%. It always has to be more. And it's like, at a certain point, it's just not obtainable because, I mean, for whatever reason, in the video game industry, you're just like, maybe it's a lighter release year, or there was a recession, so there's just, like, not enough money is being spent out in the public, or whatever the reason is. But then they're just like, what's the quickest way we can make money? Fire thousands of people. And it's like, boom. That's how we make our money back right there. And none of these CEOs or the big head guys take the heat for it. It's always the workers, like, the designers, the artists, the developers, like, they're the ones who are getting the axe.
Yeah, because it was like you said, like, if the games were actually close, they would have released it and then canned them like they did for Hi-Fi Rush. So
yeah, exactly.
Shame. Yeah, I agree with you on that one. That makes no sense.
But it's like, that's why we need more unions to help protect these people. Like, and then we get more games too. But, because then, like, if the game's just not going on, like, along well, like, they could can the game, but then those developers and stuff could then be assigned to different projects.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
Because did half the Forza people need to get fired? Like they've been pumping out great games. Like whether it's the motorsports, like I prefer the Horizon
I,
and motorsports, but like the motorsport games were getting good reviews. So it's like
I think,
I don't
but the
know.
thing is, like, that's it. They get good reviews, but I don't think they sell as well as the Horizon series. But you're
Yeah,
right. Like, they don't need to get fired.
but
Like, okay, fine, cancel the
yeah,
Motorsport series, but now Turn
uh,
10 is, yeah,
they
it's Forza Horizon.
they could be working on the PlayStation port. Like get people to get off the Gran Turismo, and that should be a game that should be getting ported over to PlayStation to get more sales. Like I don't know, like that's what you could have had them working on that. Like I don't know. So it's like there's things that like you could have done instead of just firing these people to like make more profit. But that's always just the quickest thing. Like where can we make money? Fire thousands of people. It's like brilliant. Who came with that idea? Give Steve a raise over there. What a great idea, just to fucking fire thousands of people.
Yeah, no,
We're just heading in like as a whole as a society just headed downhill.
yeah, I know. It's, yeah. We're, we've been headed that way for a long fucking time, but yeah.
Yeah, it's getting sped up right now.
So, again, or not again, but like, yeah, we have that, but also, I also want to get your guys' reactions more to like to the to the reaction online of how, like, well, this is why, like, it's all Game Pass's fault, and everyone's saying,
No,
like, burn
that's why I said
Microsoft
it's
down
not. Yeah, it's not Game Pass's fault. Like
or
it's
burn
not Game
Xbox down.
Pass's fault.
Do they want
Yeah,
to burn
no,
it? They want it to Microsoft fault, the Xbox fault. That's it.
no, it's not. It's literally it's corporate greed's fault. Like that's what it is. It's not Xbox's fault. Um, or slash, it's not Game Pass's
Or
fault. Like
Phil
it could be
Spencer's fault.
poor. I mean, maybe.
No, so,
But I
like,
mean, like,
okay, actually, the talk with that is that, like, Phil Spencer's kind of now not powerless, but basically the call came down from their CFO, not their CEO, their CFO, Amy Hood, I want to say, that she was like, yeah, no, we're doing this. So Phil Spencer kind of had
yeah,
no say.
yeah. Like, I mean, maybe leading up to it, he could have, like,
I think,
I don't know. Like, if he's more involved in like the game direction, like maybe he could have been more involved in Perfect Dark to make sure it's like getting pushed along. Like, was he too hands off and just kind of like let them go free reign and not
I
have
mean,
as many like deliverable timelines?
no, I think he actually tried to do everything he could to save everything, because there was,
Yeah.
remember there was that report that, like,
So
Satya Nadella wanted to sell off the Xbox division. He didn't want, like, when he took over, he was like, yeah, we're gonna get rid of this division, this game division. We don't need this. Phil Spencer had to come in and be like, no, this is why we got to keep Xbox around. Like, and then he got him to be like, okay, and here's some money, go buy some studios and shit. Like, Satya Nadella, the guy who's running Microsoft, doesn't care about the gaming division really. Yeah, he's like appeared in some stuff and even like put out tweets about like their gaming division is this and that, but like he doesn't care about Xbox. Like, he wanted to get rid of it. So I don't know. I think I want to be in the camp that, like, Phil Spencer probably was trying to save everything, and then he couldn't.
yeah, I know he was probably trying to save things, but like I'm saying, like was he? Like I don't know. Like that's what I'm saying. Like was he being involved as much as he should have been with the developers in the time? Like yeah, he saved them. Making sure the Xbox doesn't get sold off and all that other stuff. But like, is he spread too thin where he's not able to spend enough time with these developers to make sure they're meeting their goals with the projects? So like that's the only thing is like, yeah, I know he cares about like all these guys, but is he able to spend enough time to make sure that they're like chugging along to get to where they need to get, or was that just never even a possibility? It didn't matter, and like this was obvious. I know this was a call that was above his head, and it just came through. But like, could he have done stuff more in the past few years to make sure things get delivered or like are further along?
Well, I mean, like, it's not even just on him, too. Like, he's the head of
Oh, I
Microsoft
know.
Gaming, but, like, the Xbox division is Sarah Bond, the other head of
Which
Xbox.
I think she's. I saw a rumor that she's
She's
like in training to take
She's
over.
supposed to take over after Phil Spencer.
Yeah.
But, like, Matt Booty is the guy who runs their studios as well. Like, they have other people. It's not, you know... I honestly think it's just development. It's like it's connected to what I was saying with EA fucking putting $400 million budget into Battlefield. Like, it's this thing of these publishers and everybody, they're putting so much money into these games, but these games are also taking so long to for development time, because they're also, it's the thing that you complain about, actually, Devin, is that they're so focused on like the fidelity and all this other stuff, you know, to like put as much as they can into the game to make it as detailed as possible, put all this up instead of just like make the game look good enough. Like, look at FromSoft. Look how many games they put out in the past, like, since 2011. That's when Dark Souls 1 came out. We'll just go with that. They have Dark Souls 1, Dark Souls 2, Dark Souls 3, Bloodborne, Sekiro, Armored Core, Elden Ring, Night Rain. So what? I just named, what, like 8 games or something like that? 8 or 9 games? That they've released in a span of 14 years. In that same time...
Also,
I think they released another Armored Core, I think, as well.
Yeah.
Armored Core.
And in that same
also
time...
the mentality of American companies versus like Japanese companies too. The mentality of how they treat their staff is way different than American.
Okay.
Yeah, like the ex-head of Nintendo, right? He like cut his salary in half so he didn't have to fire anybody for the Wii U. Like, nobody in America would do that shit. Like,
no.
So, and then...
Sorry, Timmy. You're going.
Yeah, so then to compare that to an American company, obviously, yes, there is the different, like, cultures and everything, but still, again, from 2011 to 2025, all those games were released from just FromSoft. Now, compare that to Rocksteady Studios. In 2011, they released Batman Arkham City. Then in 2015, I want to say, they released Arkham Knight. And then it was last year, right? They released Suicide Squad. So in the span of, I think there was a VR game in there too. I guess we could add that in. So in the span of 14 years, that same time frame, they released 4 games. Or we could go with, you know, even though it was 2 different studios, or 3 different, but from 2011 to now, we've had what? Gears of War 3, Gears of War Judgment, Gears of War 4, Gears of War 5, Gears Tactics. So we had 5 Gears of War games in that same time frame. But that was even multiple studios. So, yeah, there's just, when it comes to the development time, there's just something going on. Yeah, and it is, you're right, Devin. It is like a strictly like American or Western game development thing.
Yeah.
That
it's like obviously European. Like Ubisoft is all over in Europe, so.
Because yeah, you have what? If we go in that same time frame, I think what Mass Effect 3 came out in 2012. I think it came out in 2012.
Probably.
So from that time, from 2011 till now, like BioWare's released Mass Effect 3, the Dragon Age, huh?
Andromeda.
Yeah, Mass Effect Andromeda, Dragon Age Inquisition, and Anthem and Dragon Age the Veil. 5 games. So yeah, like we get, you know, we don't get. Well, I think you even talked about this, and I've seen a bunch of people talk about this too. Like, look at the 360 era, 360 PS3 era. In that era alone of games, we had Gears of War 1, 2, 3, Judgment. We had Uncharted 1, 2, and 3. We had, and Last of Us. We had, I think, all the Killzone games were on PS3. Maybe one was on PS2.
All the Souls games.
Yeah.
Right? Or 3 only, because Dark Souls 3 came out in 360, right?
Yeah.
And PS3?
Yeah, Dark Souls 3 came out on 360.
No. Dark Souls 3 did not come out on 360.
No, it didn't.
The last one was Dark Souls 2.
Yeah. Dark Souls 2 did.
Okay. Well, so you had Demon Souls for PS3, and then you had Dark Souls 1 and 2.
But they released
all on that
during
generation.
that generation.
So there's 3.
They released 3 games still. Demon Souls, Dark Souls 1, Dark Souls 2. There was
4 Gears of War games.
4 Gears of War games. We had 3 God of War games.
How many Halos?
We had Halo 3, Halo Reach, ODST, and Halo 4.
We had Halo Combat Evolved.
Oh, and Halo Wars. Oh, and
Halo Wars,
and a remake of Halo 1.
Halo.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, like, as the generations have gone on, the game development time has
2 Fables.
Jesus.
And no Fables since.
I know. In that entire time, we had 1 Grand Theft Auto, basically. 2, but
one Skyrim. Until
Jesus Christ,
remake of Oblivion.
Fuck yeah. So yeah, like, development time has just gotten so much longer. Yeah, and I just think that publishers are getting too impatient because they're spending so much money.
They're wasting time on stupid shit. Like, if every game came out and looked as good as Clair Obscur, it wouldn't matter. Like, it looks great. Like, that game looks great. Like, it doesn't. We don't need everything. I don't need to see the pore in someone's face if I go into photo mode. Like, that's just unrealistic.
Going with the studio that I was talking about that released all those games. Look at FromSoft games. Would you say those are bad-looking games?
No, they're great-looking games, but they don't, because again, they don't waste time on stupid shit.
Yeah.
No, clearly they didn't waste time.
They're not like.
Well, that's something else.
They've refined, and like obviously like Night Rain. If every game came out and looked like Night Rain,
I'd be completely fine with that.
Care. Like, no one would be like, "Oh man, like graphics on this are like lacking." Like, I don't know, like, I don't care about graphics. Give me, like, if you say it runs at 4K, 60 frames per second, like, it's gonna look good. Like, it's just gonna look, it's gonna look fine. Like, it's gonna, like, there's only so much a human eye can fucking perceive. And I think photo mode is the most overrated thing in video games. Like, when people are like, "Oh no, photo mode," it's overrated. It's one of the most overrated things in video games.
Oh, do you see the photo mode for fucking Death Stranding 2, bro? They're like fake posing and shit, dude. 10 out of 10.
Yeah, I don't care. Like, the only time I'll ever use photo mode is if there's an achievement for it, so that I can pop that, and I never use it.
Yeah, Spider-Man had one, right? I think Spider-Man 2 had one, or some shit.
Yeah, like, people are like, "Oh, look at this screen! Like, look at this photo mode that I took in Spider-Man." I'm like, I don't care. I can just play the game. Like, I'm not gonna. Like, I can pause the game too and take that exact same screenshot. It's not like you're a photographer and you went up to the mountains and you got a sunset picture, like, and you took that. It's like, okay, cool. You'd have to, like, I can just pop that game in and do it. It requires very minimal effort. Or I could watch a video. I don't even need to buy the game. I could just fucking watch a gameplay and just do like it just says I don't know. Like it doesn't impress me. If someone's like, look at this photo I took in this game, literally doesn't impress me at all. Like I just think photo modes, like if you're spending time, like I don't know how much it costs to develop a photo mode, but I think they're a waste of money.
No,
Like there's so many things.
so,
Like
yeah.
it's like yeah, you can see the reflection in like Horizon Forbidden West. Like if you zoom in photo mode, you can see the reflection in their eyes. And like stop wasting money on that. Like if someone is zooming in, they're like, oh, I can't see the reflection in the character's eyes, and like if that like downgrades their experience, that person's an idiot. Like that doesn't gameplay is king. It should be how the game plays is what is most important. Don't waste your time on stupid shit like the tiniest nitpick of details in the environment or in your character model and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Because yeah, they need to cut down on these like long production times. Because they're been like, oh, like
And the big ass.
I guarantee if you ask people, it's like, would you rather have like a little less details in your game, and they come out sooner and they're cheaper, or would you rather have them have a longer development time, and we spend time on these little details that you probably never even notice unless we tell you about them, and your game costs more?
Here's the thing.
I hope to God that most people would say
no. So here's the thing. I'm gonna shatter your faith a little bit more in people. That shit has been floated online a lot. People keep saying shit like that, and everyone's like, "Oh, I think they could do both." Like you're a fucking moron if you think that they could do both.
Yeah. Well, I'm hoping in the scenario you tell them like there's no thinking. They can only do one or the other. Like you don't get to eat your cake or have your cake and eat it too. You know, like.
No, I've seen it online. People they want the absolute best in graphical fidelity, but games to come out every 2 to 3 years. And right now, that's definitely not happening. If you're gonna have the absolute best in graphical fidelity, games are gonna take 5 to 6 years of development time. That's just what's gonna happen. And nobody,
yeah, unless you're using like pre-used assets, like I mean, obviously you have like Elden Ring.
Yeah,
like, and then like with their expansion,
like I guess like making the first game, just use the same shit. Yeah, I guess preset. Just like we just use the same shit. Like Call of Duty, like they look good because again they just have the one game and they just tweak it a little bit, just tweak it here, and just do their own game mechanics for that shit. Of course, it's gonna look decent in the next 10 years of Call of Duty, you know, until like they make a big graphical jump or new engine shit.
You know,
but again, a new engine would have, it's like a next one for that would have been like. Almost like around 7 to 10 years. Like, okay, we probably gotta make this game look better now.
That's another thing, actually, that pisses me off when people are like, "Oh my god, it's the same exact animation for this." Like, I remember when Elden Ring came out, like people were like, "Wait a minute, are they using animations that were in Dark Souls 3?" Or like Call of Duty come out, are they using the same exact animation for the reload for this gun? Like this game, it's like, so you want them to make completely new animations for every fucking game? Like. That's no.
Yeah, we had the same death animation from COD 4 to like Black Ops 2. They did the same stupid headshot animation. Just like lift their arms up, just like get on their knees and fall over. I remember that shit. But like, yeah, like the gameplay's still fun, you know. But yeah, now we're just in a world where everybody wants all these crazy things.
Well, yeah, the second you change like a Call of Duty animation, people will be like, "Oh man, it's not the same." So.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hey, they're probably sorry, random. They're popping fireworks over here. Now.
Oh shit. Yeah, I don't know, man. I'm just
like maybe it takes maybe like for instance like Perfect Dark would take a longer time to make, but if they make another one, I feel like maybe it would be a little easier to make the second one. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's just the first one that will take longer.
That's kind of
so like maybe that's why. It's like, oh, because it uses the same engine, so it's just all the stuff is there. Just change a few things here and there, and that's it. It's not that bad. But
Yeah, I don't know. Again, this whole discussion has cropped up online of like what's going on and like why this is happening in the video game industry, and people want to point fingers at certain things, but it's like, and like I said, the current one right now is like, oh, it has to be because like Game Pass. That's why this kind of stuff is happening. That it affects the whole industry. But it's like, no, this is just what's been happening. This is like more also too. It's more of like an effect of COVID, because when everyone had to stay inside, people were buying more video games and more movies and stuff. But now that people, obviously now that that's not a quote unquote not a thing or whatever, I have to say that, like, people are spending less on those things. I mean, JJ, yeah, right? We talked about this last week, right? When it came to streaming services. Like, all the streaming services saw, like, oh, yeah, they were making so much money because they had so many subscribers because everyone was indoors. And then as soon as that happened, people were like, you know what? I don't need to subscribe to HBO Max. I don't really need to subscribe to Disney Plus. I don't really need to subscribe to this and this and that. So now, like, subscription or streaming services aren't making as much money as they were, a few years ago. So, like, the same thing happened to video games. But, yeah. The companies are not realizing that, like, but we made this much money when, at this year and last year or whatever. Yeah, that was then. This is now. Like, things changed.
People were, like, not touching grass.
Yeah, exactly. And, I don't know. Last thing I'll say on, like, the whole Game Pass being unsustainable. Like, if it was unsustainable, we wouldn't see so many, like, game developers still putting their games into the damn thing. Like, yeah. I don't know.
I feel like if games weren't on Game Pass, I think, like, say, like Doom Dark Ages, like, it wasn't the best out of the newer ones, So, like, would they just can them because nobody bought the game? Because since it was on a Game Pass, they just like, oh, well, sorry, guys, bye. Like, I don't think it's not Game Pass's fault.
No,
it's just, like you said, pointing people.
Again,
and again, Xbox is the big baddie, bro.
Well, yeah, Xbox is gonna be. Oh my god, dude! I remember when like Sony did their layoffs not too long ago. Like Jeff Keighley, he put out a tweet, whatever. Dude, during these layoffs for Xbox or for Microsoft, he put out so many tweets with different things. Like, dude, you are so ridiculous. And then, like, the tweet he put out for Helldivers, like coming to Xbox, it sounded so, like, the tweet sounded like, if you, like, read it in his voice or whatever, it just sounded so corporate. Like, it looked so corporate, just like, Helldivers is coming to Xbox. He's just... I know I've said this on a previous podcast, that, like, I hate that dude is, like, the biggest thing for, like, the biggest, like, advocate for, like, a video game, video games being, like, more mainstream with, like, his Summer Game Fest and the Game Awards and all that stuff, because he's such, like, an obvious fanboy of PlayStation and of Kojima, I mean, dude, I know it's, it's probably an impossible ask that for someone to be more impartial, but dude, he's way too, like, come on. I don't know.
No, yeah, I know.
So I don't know. We got anything else to add to that?
Nope.
All right.
Nope.
Again, yeah, we hate the layoffs, but video games are just... I don't know. It's got to be like maybe a couple more years before things even out, and we won't see as many layoffs like this. I don't know. All right, we'll go ahead and end it right there then. So that was Gaming Chamber, episode 59. Again, like
10
I
more
always
to
say,
69.
10 more, yeah.
Hell yeah, brother.
Again, you like our discussions, you like what we do with this podcast, you like what's done on the channel and all that stuff. You know, like, subscribe, comment, share, all that good shit. I've been your host,
Tell
Everett.
everybody.
Yeah, tell me I'm a bitch. Spit in my mouth. All right, I've been your host, Everett. Devin. Oh, God. JJ.
Peace out, guys. Besides, and one more thing, Everett. What do you want from the kitchen? Since I'm over right now, naked.
God. All right. Until next time. We'll catch you later.